right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful morning. We've already gone over all the headlines, and there's some new prices. NVO got slashed. Even Spotify didn't do as good. UPS didn't give guidance. We had one more, too. So there's a lot of updates. Nothing too crazy yet. We are awaiting some of the bigger data, and then tomorrow you get the Fed and so there's a lot of things. Everybody is hyping up India as like the thing we're waiting for on Friday, but now that we got EU out the way, I think all that matters really is China. So we'll see where it leads us, but oh my goodness, it should be a fun one. Yeah, we could put up NVO. I'm going to be watching NVO and UNH off of the open. NVO options are a little weird. And then, like I said, give it a couple more dollars. It'll be like 10% below our purchase, and then I could consider it. But I don't know if I'm going to buy it now or pretty much just wait till the rest of the earnings. Oh, no, DVR is on. No. I kind of need to go pee, bro. We only got 15 seconds. So, Chad, call out anything that is important. If you have any questions, you let me know, and then let's have a good day, baby. Let us have a good day, habibi. Round one, fight. All right. Well, Chad. Oh, I didn't send out the plays. Oh, yeah, MP went crazy. K-Web, CDNS, Atos, and then I was going to watch one more. Oh, yeah, MP. So, yeah, MP got active. I don't know if that one's going to go. Let's see. MP options are open. UNH is not open. NVO options are up, too, but they're kind of shit now. I forgot. I had a big one that I lost on. Oh, I had those longer dated ones. Jake bro, stay far. Woo! I like UNH. The earnings wasn't that bad, but we are going to wait for a couple of things there. I want a little more clarity. RTX. So, I mean, not even then. Like, the clarity I'm waiting for is everybody else. So hopefully you guys see that. I'm waiting for relativity, right away. I don't know if you guys woke up and realized it, like you're getting big moves. You've got some names that are moving. The stories are changing in terms of what's gone on. So I like that. This is where we want results. So we want to see what ends up happening. And then from there, once we get an idea of like relative prices, we're going to see the new draft class. That's what I keep calling it. So we're going to be able to get an idea. Yeah, Merck is one of them too, bro. So Merck was on my list. You guys remember I was telling you how much I like Merck. That might be one that comes into our prices right there. So Tesla on the low. UNH chain is not open yet. Come on, Habibi. Okay, now it is. UNH is open. SoFi, I think they had good earnings. Again, they've been going up too. We're not even at this stage of banking like D-Reg. I feel like you are gonna get that soon. So we'll see. Yeah, PayPal's down 7. That could be one. That one was up. I'd be down to get PayPal if it came back to our original. Because remember, we were up like 30 or something on it. Pepsi on the high. Fulcrum, they had some data. Oh yeah, let's get NVO. NVO's already coming back up, but you guys know this story. It's either gonna rip half of the loss or it's gonna just like stop and then meander for the rest and then maybe do the flush towards the end of the day. I like Smuckers. AM Dizzle too, bro. Oh my gosh, I forgot they got an upgrade. Yeah, though, those went up a lot. Young AM Dizzle. So yeah, the AMDs are 200% now. Julian, welcome. Yeah, JetBlue, A-OK. Spotify did not do good. I like Merck too, so keep that up. Wait till we get through most of this. We can have some really good talks on long term here. Middle of the day, but this is why I'm excited for earnings. We got to let our opportunities come to us. Cadence, that one's still going. Again, I like AMD, but we already have a play. Boeing red to green. And then Spotify's down 10 too. So you guys are getting big moves. So we'll find out where they settle, because like I said, after this week, Boeing's really flushing. Boeing $7 down. Whoa. Yeah, Boeing just dropped $7, $240 to $233. What the fuck? Yeah, Boeing dropping. I don't know what that is. Tesla, there's UNH, and then Synopsis. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm in a call. MP on the low now. Oh yeah, the Boeing car is gonna start in a little bit. You're right. That's what's gonna happen. I don't know if it's now, but yeah, they do it like 30 minutes after the bell. Or it's like intraday. Nucor on the high, they reported as well. NTRS, SPY, ironically, is just barely moving, even though it feels like we have a lot. And then Dow is right at break even. Waste Management, is that NVO? So yeah, NVO has just been, it looks like CNC. You guys, that's what unfortunately has happened with some of these. You'll get like a massive sell-off, and then literally cash open and just going up. So see if that either stops or not. Who's the other one? UNH. Yeah, and then UNH down 6. Not that bad, but just at a lower level. Bonds are coming up. Keep an eye on the euro too. Again, after all of that drama yesterday with the trade deal and whatnot. And even NVO. I'm saying it's all part. Euro, foreign currencies. Damn, we hit 64.09. God bless America. I like UPS too, but that's the one that didn't hit a new price. Unfortunately. Lutnick on Pharma in the 2 weeks, going to be higher. Marvel on the high. There's Bitcoin right below 120. CLS again, that was the earnings leader. Sarepta and HIMS came down. AMD just ripping. Yeah, HIMS was already down, and then it went green or went to break even. Now it's dumping again. And then, yeah, you got Lutnick. He is talking. I'm in a cow. No, what are we going to do with that one? Tesla, Nvidia, and Amdizzle, and then now you got the SPY. You got a couple of biotechs. There's UNH and INSEE. So yeah, they're all kind of doing their thing. Oh, beautiful. All right, so there's a couple of premiums that just got slashed and stocks haven't moved. I might take one. TLT. I know, bro. We do got another deposit. It's crazy. Nvidia's painting the high ticker. And you got bonds playing along. And then just remember we said, you know, the way the bonds move, that's going to offer its own little opportunity. That's a first little red there, intraday on NVO. So we'll see how long that lasts for. But not bad, bro. TLT, JHX. I haven't looked at the airlines yet. So let's see. Google appeal. Everyone's been loving Google. Then Whirlpool too. So Whirlpool has recovered what? 5% already? So NVO did too. Well, we do have to see where they settle. So nothing is set in stone. eBay on the high, and then SPY just right back to open. NASDAQ up 0.5%. Dow Jones just went green or break even. SPY's up by 1/4, and then Russell is up by over 0.5%. So not bad, my friends. Not bad at all. hood on the high. If UPS, bro, if it could get back, didn't it hit 89? Yeah, or 91. That was the breaking point. That was I was liking it below there last time, and then every time it gets there, you know, UPS has been stubborn. That thing will not go down below a certain point. Remember, that was one of the first ones that did drop. That looks somewhat valuable. Yeah, Broadcom, AMD, again, we see Marvel. Just keep eyes broadly whether or not chips actually hold up today and stay up, because they've been on a tear. I mean, earnings so far, they have been loving it. So not bad at all. Let me see this. Some of these have very wide spreads. Yeah, bro, the Dizzles. Circle on the high, and then beyond. Archite on the high too. That's fucked up. Waited. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you did kind of follow along, you didn't chase these new prices, they should serve you, not really be too against you. So I look forward to it, but I want to see where it all ends up. I don't know. It was feeling like a small earnings. It still kind of is, but yeah, I do want to see if this actually, if we get big moves, big price changes, big valuations, that's going to be the opportunity. New information, opportunity to panic. Oh, but till then, you know, there's just a few of them to start off. But the next couple of days, it is going to start ramping up. UNP going up, and Whirlpool. Whirlpool's almost back to 90. Still crazy. It's down 9%. There is a lot of them. AEHL, I think yeah, that thing was halted all day and then just got unhalted, 47%. The Russia tariffs, it's all up to Trump. We're going to see. Keep an eye on oil, but essentially if he I think they have like 10 days, but he said he was gonna speed up the timeline, so it's possible, but just watch out for any announcements or again, oil movement. DJ Antelope signs $50 million strategic financing agreement to launch Bitcoin acquisition plan. So yeah, that's what this one is. CP on the high. UPS is coming down there. Again, I think the new price would be 91 and below. SPY coming down. Okay, now long term. Yeah. All right, SPY getting pummeled. There's a couple of names on the high, though. And then I'm seeing, like, AutoZone. And then CP, another one of the railroads, is going up. Yeah, AutoZone just took a pop. AutoZone took a $10, $15 pop. It's not loading, but it's there. Chips are up. So, again, and this is that, like, post-earnings digestion that we talked about. You know, you're going to do those in the morning, and then it's going to kind of move around. So just be mindful. And then even, like I said, middle of the day, it'll calm down. And then end of the day, before you know it, out of nowhere, everyone's going to start preparing for the next set of earnings. Okay, so you got 3 little candles there, no headlines. Now we're moving around a little bit, but feels a little calmer than the last couple days, to be honest, except for all of the stocks that are down 10%. And then you fill the gap in another 10 points. Equal weight just went negative. So SPY, Tech, once again, a little bit of outsized performance. NASDAQ up 0.45. That's matched up with the Russell. So we will see, Habibi. We will see. Yeah, you got JOLTS in 15 minutes. So JOLTS is it could go both ways. If it's a big enough, you know, actually looks like we're gonna get outside of the, you know, recent sets of data, then we'll get some volatility. But other than that, if JOLTS is like in line, nothing, you know, no crazy divergence up or down, then, you know, we'll take it and then we start looking ahead. ALK on the high now. They're starting to move again. I've heard a lot about airlines as of late. Yeah, AAL actually. AAL 10-cent pop. I don't know if it's all of them. No, AAL is by itself. AAL and ALK. Both of those are moving. Again, a lot of people were asking me about that one. AAL. UPS, another candle down. Hot dog. Pinduoduo with a pop. I feel like I haven't seen China. Then SWK, a little pop on Pinduoduo. Apple on the low. J&J too. Yeah, watch if China can wake up. You haven't heard much on them. Celestica, Amazon on the low ticker. Apple too. So honestly, it's big 7. You got Nvidia holding you up right now, and I think Microsoft. Yeah, Microsoft's almost up 1%, but now Google's going red. VIX is hitting a low. Yeah, so even then, you got Apple and Amazon on the low, but then you got Google and Nvidia on the high, or Microsoft and Nvidia on the high. But I just saw the VIX hit a low. AstraZeneca with a pop, and then ARM as well. Let's see, NVO. And then who was the other one? Merck. And then UPS. European bank stocks rise to highest level since 08. Yeah, UPS still at the low. ASON. No shit. What's going on here? Remember ASON? Remember your boy used to Dustin? Oh, Dustin. We remember you, Dustin. Apple. I keep seeing Apple on the low. So SPY's into the low. If that keeps going, that might hit Honda on the high. HCM or no, HUTCHMED China. Why did I think that was Honda? Yeah, HCM. We've seen that pop before. AMD going crazy, 180, and then ASON. ASON and Young Jeezy. Time to take it easy. Only way to hold more stocks. If you're looking for me, I'll be on the stocks with the long time. PayPal, I think, earnings. Yeah, I don't see anything on ASON. That one's still moving. HIM's on the low. Hood, Lucid. Anarchis. Nike flushing. Is that what? So usually when we say flushing, we're looking for the big candle. Jake, I think you've been here long enough for it. So yeah, it is down, but I would say like Apple's kind of more flushy than Nike right now, at least. Again, we just saw one go down. ALK keeps going, and then AAL. I don't know what's going on there. And then BSX on the high. And then bonds straight up too. So honestly, think about what we said yesterday. I mean, that should paint a picture for you. Coca-Cola on the high and XLU. So yeah, you're getting a little bit broadening out here. NASDAQ and Russell are staying matched. Dow is the one that's weak. Equal weight, not as much. And then I think NVIDIA helping lift up the SPY alongside Microsoft. Only way to go long term. Okay, more Apple, more bonds, and now SPY low. Boeing is dropping. Dude, that Boeing, that $7 drop was crazy. Out of nowhere. TLT. Microsoft's starting to drop now. That's your other little bit of support. Boeing keeps flushing. Bro, Boeing did it again. Bro, another $6 drop on Boeing. It's done that twice today. What the fuck? Yeah, bro. Boeing did it again. So their call has to be starting soon, I think. And then we got 10 more minutes till the job data. But damn, bro. 2 back-to-back ones. And then SPY still going down. I think GLW. And then bonds. So that's the weird part about today. I think the bond move is very, very odd. Let's see. Yeah, bro. Especially with the yen, not even... I don't know. So we'll see where that one leads us. But the K is getting worse. You're going down a little bit more. I mean, it started kind of with Apple, and I would say Boeing as well. I mean, remember, it is post-earnings, you guys. So whatever happens, it's just like we talked about yesterday. You guys remember how we, like, moved down, and then all of a sudden, you had that big rip, and then it doesn't look like a lot? That's kind of what we're going to have the opportunity for. So, like, let me put it this way. If we go down a lot, you might randomly come up a lot in the last, like, 10 minutes. I'm kind of expecting not too much movement in a weird way. Or just the whole, remember how we stayed kind of pinned near open? So keep that in mind. But again, it does depend where everything settles out. Too slow. If you're looking for me, I'll be long term with that term. Okay, Microsoftian. AIP, that's the other one. NVIDIA. I forgot we did have that. Merck looking to increase demand for Gardasil in China. Let me see if I can pull up the Boeing one. LNG. Okay, low ticker. You got Core. What? Oh. It's like Core Reef 52-week low. How? Or Oracle. UVXY is red, bro. UVXY is below 15. So, again, volatility, that, like, fear. That's why yesterday, we were talking about the melt-up. Even if seasonality, you got to be prepared for both outcomes. Whether we have a slow seasonal from now till summer, or if this ridiculous melt-up 100 points at a time continues. And if it does, you should know the signal. The signal, I mean, again, the bonds are speaking to ya. I think their earnings call is already done, bro. Oh no, this is Viatris. I'm on the wrong company. Give me the Boeing. Give me the Boeing. Boeing. Oh shit. I didn't want to do that. Zivia. ZVIA. First name Luigi. Last name. What was the new guy's name? And y'all are tripping, bro. I see y'all don't realize a BlackRock executive got shot and killed in that shooting yesterday. I'm like, y'all, I know y'all don't want to admit it, but that is a Luigi copycat. And they're like, oh yeah, he was aiming for the NFL. That's why he ended up at a Wall Street executive, right? And they're like, oh, he killed a cop. Oh, okay, so that makes it no, bro. When was the last time you seen two executives gunned down and murdered in New York City in the last 12 months? Oh, man. So, yeah. I'm an individual attendee. Register for this event. Oh, it hasn't started yet. Boeing call hasn't even began. Oh, shit. Weird. So it says 7:30 my time. Boeing starts in 30 minutes. So it's not even ready. And it's done those two $6 ones. Damn, Dizzle again and Abby Vi. Reddit on the low as well. All right, so we'll wait. Honestly, keep that eye on Boeing. That one could be very interesting. And then 5 more minutes until the data. Okay. I like Merck a lot. We talked about it. Again, their earnings wasn't good too. But I'm not going to shoot at anything until we just see the full story with like everybody. Or at least more, unless something gets extremely cheap where we can't say no. But for now, I'm liking it. I'm excited. I can't wait to see what we end up with. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Blackstone, was it? That's holding you up today. Again, healthcare, a couple of the drug companies, even though most of them had bad earnings. Yeah, XLV's on the high. Still in the red, though. So a lot of them are trying to come up. And then UPS, 93, man. MRK, AHL, NVCR too. Wasn't there a cancer drug? There was one with metastatic breast cancer this morning. NVCR has one of those too. The drugs. Spy. Or do we got a trial balloon? What do we got? So you're starting to pop around. I don't have a headline yet, but I don't even see it in a name. Yeah, no individual name, but Spy just took a pop. See if we get a headline or not. Otherwise, just some earnings bullshit. But yeah, everything that was leading kind of like yesterday still holding up. Hard to get an idea. I mean, right now it is tech. Equal weight's a little bit behind. I think they're still in earnings land. Lee Auto on the low. I haven't looked at China. I got 2 apples up here. K-Web is starting to go down. Oil pop, that could be something related to Russia. So that's all I'm looking at with oil. But China's on the low right now, even with all of that. And then, again, 2 more minutes till the data, you guys. So get ready for that. Oh, yeah, Target. I forgot about that. That's another one here by post earnings. But even then, that one's still up 10% from the lows. So it's a lot of these names, that's why it sucks. Because even if they go down 10%, they're just going to be at their April low. That's kind of what NVO did. GOW, I'm very impressed with that name, bro. Corning and one of the American greats. But yeah, bro, 9. I wanted that even this morning. I saw they were up 5. Because sometimes when they go like this, yeah. That's it. Merck CEO says if EU tariffs were implemented immediately, there would be minimal impact on 2025 results. So Corning's still going up. MRK, that could start to get bullish. See though, that first comment, see if he starts hyping it up. But MRK is on their call. Boeing call starts in 30 minutes. Those two little candles are terrible. And AMD 180. So that one's still going. Then NNE on the low. Uber, again, Uber's getting clapped on the Waymo Dallas news. Dizzle. Yeah, conference board. Oh, the data. Hi. Job opening 7.4 million, 7.437 versus 7.5. So it came in a little lower if you wanted bad is good, but then still good enough where it's not like bad. And then, oh, geez. And then consumer confidence 97.2 versus 97. It's good. All the data, nothing surprising. And then, yeah, the jobs not bad, not good. Like, does that make sense? Just everything's in line. It's the same thing. That's what I was saying. If it changes the narrative, the story, I mean, the best thing I can say is that, no, 7.4 is fucking mind-numbingly the fucking same. I was like, maybe that could have been the highest in 12 months, but no. So, yeah, just wait till Friday. And the other one, still more earnings, and that's kind of weighing on the market a little bit more than that. No, I mean, it's the same story we've heard. I feel like I've heard it for 4 years now of just everybody talking about job openings and then not being able to get a job. And again, I think it has to do with the law. Like, any job that you hire for, even if you're going to promote internally, you have to, like, file a job listing for it. So even if you're going to know who you're going to put in there, I think you still have to put up a job listing, something like that. But either way, there's like debate about, you know, how tight the jobs market really is, or all of these, you know, 7.5 million job openings. It sounds like a ridiculous amount, and that's very high. Remember, prior to like 2019, you wouldn't have numbers that high. But then again, a lot of people, they've been saying this for years, that they can't get a job, even with all the AI stuff and the layoffs. So it's going to be interesting. And that's why at some point, both a mix of that, AI, what's going on with trade, the economy, that's why we want those results. And we want to see what happens to the jobs market. And that's why, too, I've even tied that into real estate as well. AZN, again, Boeing, that was that little ding ding. I don't know. I want to play it now. But then I can't tell you. I feel like it's going to be good. But then, dude, these two $6 candles are massive. But yeah, so I got that queued up. We're going to hear that in a little bit. So we will see. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, my brethren. Yeah, the data came out. Consumer confidence was good. Our conference board consumer confidence, and then jobs was just right there. Walmart, MLS enter into a multi-year partnership. Woo! Chipotle for the long term, if it could come down a little bit more, or if it stays the same price and everybody else goes up. So yeah, but right now we're getting some answers on earnings, and once we get a little bit more, then we could start to decide to buy or not. And if you want to, you don't have to wait for me. Your portfolio should be speaking to you. Your cash balance and everything in between. Let that provide, my friend. EW on the high. Yeah, EW starting to wake up. Same thing with MDT. That was red. A couple of these healthcare drug names are coming up. If Merck could turn it around on the conference call, and then even NVO gets some more of that cash open, but other than that, it's kind of weak. Now Abbott, though, I'm seeing a couple medical drug companies. They started off very weak, and they're waking up right now. And then SPY's still near the low. You got a lead with some tech. Apple started to be a drag. NVIDIA is the one holding you up. Google kind of in the middle. It wants to either be a drag or a help. And then Microsoft was helping out, but now it's starting to lose a little bit. Kroger, actually, I haven't looked at. Staples are up. Oh, man. I know. Boeing, the landing gear. I don't know if they have landing gear. I don't know. The data support rate cut? No. I mean, the data is the same. It's the same type of data you've gotten in the last 7 months. Right? Nothing new. That's why I'm saying one of these days, sooner than not, we're probably going to get a change. But for now, everything's in line. This is what I was saying even when Trump in April. That's what I was trying to communicate to everybody. I'm like, listen, bro, nothing has changed. Unfortunately, even like right after Biden, even from like November till not. That's why it was weird when Powell cut rates. That's why even then it stays the same. Then he's not operating the same. People, ask questions. But generally, this isn't, I don't think the data has been changing. It's all the same. 12 months, all within the same range and variance. You're not too hot. You're not too cold. Everything's if anything, you lean towards the hotter side and chugging. And then, yeah, that's it. Made it on bright, baby. Well, good morning. Keep grinding, baby. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, I'm a fan of Chipotle. It just, as a restaurant, it grows. That's it. I always say this every time. There's not too many restaurants that grow, like really grow and make new locations, are popular. So that's what it is. But then again, they've had they've had all of the CEO stuff and everything else. They're going through it, but cheap enough, I'd buy it. At too high, I mean, I do want McDonald's instead, but both of them. Good food names are not easy to come by. And when they do get good, they get expensive when they start killing it. Pepsi, Cigna, AWK, a few others. Again, Staples keep running. Oh, and Bradley Frizzle, 23 minutes ahead of the Boeing conference call. The peach has arrived, baby. Oh, no. Let's go. Peach Nation. What are you telling me? You see the consistency every day? How come I haven't banned Bradley Frizzle? How come? Y'all don't feel me, bro. You ain't. Let's God bless you. Major oil refining group sent letter to Republican lawmakers criticizing Trump's actions. Oh, we just got a data dump on handling of biofuel policy and tariffs. They couldn't criticize the peach, though. The peach is, oh my goodness. So what do you think for the call, baby? I was just talking about it. So you got the peach, you got Boeing making $6 candles like this, and then the call starts in 10-20 minutes. So I don't know, man. I think that one's gonna be there. There might be some plays there if you'd like. Alright. Mara on the low. NSC, UMPCO talking merger. I haven't been to Chipotle in a minute, to be honest. I don't know. I tried the hot honey chicken, but I don't know. I haven't been monitoring the portion sizes. I've been out of the game, bro. I've been out of the game. Bitcoin floods. Yeah, Spotify they weren't bad. It was like foreign currency, and then they were just doing so good that I think it finally caught up with them. But I don't think it was the worst. I think they just been killing it. We don't have any retail. That's why I'd like Target. I think Walmart's better than Target, but Target's the one with value. Costco's 2 up there. We had Walgreens, but that one didn't work. I don't know. What other retail do we have? We have the companies, but I don't have the retail stores. Yeah. I did. I read I read the first 2 chapters, and it's exactly what you were saying, bro. And like, it was perfect with the philo. And then I ended up on Samuel again, ironically enough. So yeah, I loved it, bro. Thank you for that. Yeah, Bitcoin. Lulu, I don't know if they count as retail. That's like retail, but not like big box. That's like a retail consumer product, or like, you know, brand, but it's not like a store. So yeah, it's like in the middle, but it's not like a Walmart, Target, Costco, Kroger, Albertsons, you know, like a big box retailer. That's kind of, I'm assuming that's what he's asking. That's why I would like Target, but I need it at a good price, good value. I brought more soldiers, my friend. Like I said. Woo! Yeah, Best Buy, but I don't like Best Buy. I used to love Best Buy as a kid, but I'm blown away Best Buy still even exists, bro. You know that? I am blown away. It's amazing. They do have it, because like anytime you need like something on hand, Best Buy will have it. But I loved Fry's Electronics. I can't believe they closed that shit down, bro. You remember the one off of Fryers? That shit was amazing, bro. That thing was massive, and it had everything. And everybody was like nerdy, bro. That place was like nerd heaven. I loved it. I can't believe they closed it. Okay, Microsoft's starting to go. Again, a couple of medicals like Abbott, Merck. Merck is recovering from earnings, and then we saw the other ones go. But yeah, XLP, Staples up, healthcare going up, but still deep red. And then we're playing the game of like Mag 7. Apple stopped going down. Like I said, Google was like right at the line. Now it's up a quarter. And then we had Amazon, TTD dropping. TTD's at 1.7. Yeah, bro, Fry's. I remember, dude, that was an experience. I don't know how that place went out of business, and then fucking Best Buy's still there. Oh, MDT, yeah, that was the other one. MDT and EW, those are the ones that like stayed up. This feels like a smaller version of yesterday. So just remember, the more we move intraday, the more likely you're gonna have one of those, a bigger end of the day move. STZ, Constellation, then ACAD. Dude, I only see medical. KDP. Don't they have earnings coming up? I never went to a Fry's in LA. Believe it or not. I only went to San Diego. O'Reilly. And then remember AutoZone had that pop and came down. Mad Liquid. Costco's trying to climb. And then you had the Walmart soccer news. And then Boeing's call 18 or 17 minutes. KDP already reported. Okay. Celsius. Hi. Celsius, a little pop up 1.5. I keep seeing Archite, and then everything else is just medical biotech. Yeah, Archite is running 3.7. Yeah, equal weight's green. Equal weight's actually almost matched up with the SPY. And then Dow has been red all morning, all day. And then the Nasdaq's been up, and then Russell and Nasdaq were matched up. Now Russell's outperforming. Archite getting a little bit more volume up there. And Guild now, it's another medical. So Guild barely up. You're either down medical, you're going up but red, or you're up like 1%. That's it. UPS coming down, and then SIGI on the high. And then for your market checkup, Dow Jones, 19 names green, 11 in the red, even though Dow has been the one that's been red all day. And then NASDAQ 100, 61 in the green, 39 in the red. So that's actually not that bad. And then S&P, 322 green, 180 in the red. So yeah, everything's green. You have way more advancers. So Dow's barely showing red, but it's better than yesterday for sure. We'll see how long that lasts. AstraZeneca tariffs will not significantly affect it. Merck said the same thing. So, and they started going up. That Merck tariff comment, they are up $2 from there. Bonds too, bro. That's been the weird one as well. So nothing else is pointing to get a gigantic bond bid. They're up 1%, the long end. So that's good. That's going to support your rally. APH, Amphenol. MO too. MO has earnings tomorrow morning, and they're at 60. And then there's UNH. UNH recovered half of it. It was down 7 at one point. Yeah, not bad. Consumer confidence. All right, yeah, those UNHs. I was saying I called out on the stream alert. I made an error, but I was assuming you guys would figure it out. I was just trying to point out the mispricing on earnings, and it worked because UNH was going up and the contracts got slashed in half, and then every contract you were able to kill it. So yeah. I mean, we're chilling. Bonds, I don't know, man. That bond move today is very unique. American Eagle on the high. We'll see if that comes back up. But yeah, we haven't moved much. We are kind of doing the pin very early. It's 7:08. We have not even been here for an hour. And then we should be done with most of the data, I believe. Yeah, you got JOLTS, consumer comp. Yeah, you'll get Dallas Fed services. And then I think the real estate stuff is tomorrow. UHS, and then Archite. Again, Boeing's call is going to start in 10 minutes. So, like I said, I'm very tempted to want to play it, but yeah, I don't know which way it's going to go. Because after two $12 drops combined, that's insane. Finger to the sky, baby. Woo! Amen. CVS going up there too. And then BTI, remember the lithium? Oh, no, I'm thinking BTU. And then BHP. But even then, MO and BTI, they have earnings tomorrow. More staples. You got Mohawk and then a couple of others going up. And then SPY right at VWAP. Staples are kind of leading now. If you think about it, Staples are doing better than the Russell, and that is the best one. So there is J&J. There's Procter & Gamble. And dude, MP does that every day. It'll be up like 10% and then just flip. WMB. Again, more of those retailers, those big box, both staple and discretionary, and then even healthcare. Now you got chips again with SMCI. That was helping you out all day. Dude, the bonds are weird, I'm telling you. And then think about what we talked about yesterday. This is giving you room. So if you were watching yesterday's watch list, you should know what this means. So regardless if you felt any way about the market, just keep in mind, as long as the bonds don't hit a new high, bro, that's supporting everything. And then, but again, it's coming out of nowhere. It's not like you have the yen or policy or data. There's not really anything that should be driving it. So that's why I keep saying it's a little unusual, but then again, maybe unusual now. We got to see where it ends up, both on the week and even probably by the end of the day. So we will find out. But either way, okay, SPY, you got a little move. I see a lot more staples. I don't know where tech's at. Again, before you know it, we're going to start getting ready for the earnings. So tech is going to kind of be in its own little world. Where is Tesla? AMD is amazing. That one killed it. Again, UNH and then MO. I want to do Boeing, but I don't know. I'll just listen to the call. I'm going to calm down. It did good, surprisingly. Give me a good profit. Thank you. Yeah, well, the dollar's going to get weird. So people were even saying that, like, look at the dollar now and, like, how things are. So, like, pretty much if the U.S. exceptionalism comes back, right? Remember how everybody was like, oh, it's over. Oh, yeah. So if it comes back, here's going to be the problem. Let's say we go back to the U.S. exceptionalist trade. That doesn't mean the dollar has to come back up. And that's going to be tricky. So we just got to wait and see how it plays out. But long story short, see where the dollar plays in relation to the euro and the major currencies. But now we might go through another shift where it could be bullish, but doesn't necessarily mean, you know, just because it's bullish for the world or equities, that doesn't mean it'll be bullish for the dollar. So that's going to be the interesting part. And remember, the dollar and the currency value, that's how all of these trade deals are truly getting executed. Again, that's where the currency savings and benefits are. You could get caught up in the rates, but depending on the currency translation, that's the real driver of demand. All right, bro, we just keep going back. And bonds are straight up, bro. Again, it's very gradual. It's not like fear. It's not like anything else. And then Merck, bro, we should have played it on the tariff comment. So yeah, it's up another, literally that $2 there. But now Merck is getting in. It kind of looks like UNH. They've recovered like half of their losses there. Okay. God bless America. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse long-term trade. Hey, long-term stocks, hold 10 years, save your 10%. The market rips, the Democrats trip, but you still have your stocks. Hey, I can't wait till Christmas, dog. They still have their calls? Yeah, they should actually. There's one we checked too. They start in a little. Novo CEO, the new guy. We need to focus on a fewer things and do better. So I think he's making his first comments right now. Well, yeah, I think yesterday's watch list, bro, you are fully prepared from now until September, middle of September. You should know the events, how it should, what you're looking for with the results, and then now you even know how to look at the bonds. So we got a couple of signals. I'm very glad, because I think that bond thing now and how the market's played out, I think we could definitely narrow down you know, what we got here. And I know a lot of people, especially as it goes higher, and if it gets like, it's gonna get frustrating. So don't get frustrated, get your plan and follow through. You're gonna be fine. CEP on the low. The bonds, but the problem is the cutting. So like we talked about, if they cut during a boom, that's not going to be good for bonds. If they cut during a bust, then this is the best time in the literal 40 years to buy a bond. You see, that's the dilemma right now. Because if they cut into a boom, then the bonds could get 50% cheaper again. If it could get even worse. So that's kind of your problem here as we're moving forward. That's one of those question marks that we have. Yeah, CLS's earnings, but it was not up 30 before, but intraday it has really ran. And now it's 7:30. We're about an hour in. Couple things still moving. MRK still going. Mohawk, Lulu. Again, tech is slightly leading, and then we got the data. Data was all in line. Nothing crazy except for a lot of these earnings moves. And again, a lot of activity in healthcare and everything else. India to buy soil from China in rare purchase. So you're getting a Reuters report on India, and then they were hyping up the India deal as like what you should be looking for Friday, but I don't think it matters that much. But on that note, Chad, what a beautiful, lovely Tuesday. And you are blessed. You are a child of the light. Don't let them tell you anything different. Clear. Oh, this is it.
We need to increase the sense of urgency and execute differently. But we'll do that by building on the core strength. Follow me on Instagram at the Trading Fraternity. Real Code News on Twitter. Oh, Bobby! You got that UNH, huh?
Here, though,
you got some mispricing?
They promote someone from within, especially someone who comes from the international business.
Look at no flexing, just paying the plug,
y'all. The U.S. is really at the root of their problems, and so just now on a media call, I had a chance to ask both the new CEO as well as the chair of the board, why are you the right person? Why is he the right person right now? And the chair of the board, Helge Lund, said that Mike is an exceptional leader with a track record, and he points to his ability to build high-performing teams, and he also has broad commercial experience around the world, and he does have experience in the U.S. And Mike himself did say that just because he led international markets, that doesn't mean that he doesn't have experience with the U.S. He's sat on this executive management committee, and that has given him insight into the U.S. So he talked about some of his different priorities. His top 3 priorities are deepening Novo's leadership in diabetes and obesity, and also sharpening the commercial execution, as well as realigning the cost base. So he has a big task in front of him, and this is just what we're hearing so far, guys.
What happened here, Angelica? How did Lilly and Novo, who dominated this space, Novo, who practically had the Kleenex of GLP-1s with Ozempic, how did it turn so south?
Well, there's a few things going on here, and Lilly is definitely a strong competitor, and their drug tirzepatide, remember that's both Mounjaro and Zepbound, that is a better drug. It helps lead to more weight loss, and they have been gaining share consistently in this market. At the same time, you have this compounding. And that's what Novo is saying today is really the source of the problems that they see for the rest of the year. They estimate that compounding represents about 1/3 of the market for GLP-1s, and that they thought this market would go away when the FDA said it would start enforcing this, so-called ban on compounding, but that hasn't happened. And they say that their market research shows that compounding is still a formidable threat, and that is something that they are going to have to contend with. And so, whether they just didn't see it coming, That's an open question. But at the same time, now they have all of these fronts that they're dealing with. They have Lilly to deal with, they have the compounders, and they have questions about their pipeline and whether they are set up for success, just not for the next few years, but for the coming decade, guys.
Yeah, stunning to watch, and look at that longer term chart there in terms of the ascent and, of course, this decline. Angelica, thank you. Let's get a news update now with Savannah now. Savannah.
Hey, David, good morning. Well, New York City's mayor said this morning that the man who killed 4 people Monday night in a Park Avenue office building in Manhattan may have been targeting the National Football League headquarters. Eric Adams said today Shane Tamora talked about the brain disease CTE, though he was not an NFL player. Sources tell NBC News he left a 3-page note, including several references to the condition, which is often associated with football players and other athletes.
In their minds,
now, among the victims, an off-duty New York City
he's trying to be the NFL version of Luigi. You guys think it's...
Police identify the officer as Diderul Islam, an immigrant from Bangladesh who leaves behind 2 young sons and his wife, who is pregnant with their 3rd child. An investment giant Blackstone confirmed today one of its senior executives
he had a pregnant wife
and
killed. 2 kids.
The company said in a statement, Wesley
what are these guys doing?
embodied the best of Blackstone and shared prayers for her husband, children, and family.
That's terrible.
According to Blackstone's website, LePatner was a Yale graduate who joined the company in 2014 from Goldman Sachs. Sarah.
Oh no, are they talking?
A bunch of people that
oh,
are very close with her. And
that's even worse.
She was a rock star. It's so sad, leaving behind 2 children. Thank you, Silvana.
No.
Just, I mean, she valued member of her community, of the Jewish community.
Whack,
I think of Blackstone, where she was a rising star in that real estate business.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's just very weird. And I don't know, bro. And I told y'all when the Luigi shit and the way y'all idolized that, and some of you didn't, and God bless you, but if you were part of that shit, man, and y'all don't think that, I told you what was gonna fucking happen. And y'all could try to put this in your mind as if it's different, but oh man, that's terrible. JP Morgan advanced talks to take over Apple's credit card program. I don't know if that's good news, because remember, Goldman got washed on that deal. So, but yeah, I see that. I was on the wire. JP Morgan and Apple. But yeah, you got to be careful. Because like I'm saying, the last time Goldman did it, it was bad. It wasn't profitable for either company. Yeah, it was actually a real big drag for Goldman. I think they have to highlight the NFL shit because they don't want you to know it's a Luigi thing. That's why. Because that's scary, bro. I told you this when the Luigi shit happened. It was, you could see it from a mile away, just watching a bunch of little kids. Yeah, it's murder. I'm like, what's wrong with you guys? What happened, bro? What happened? All of overnight, you had people praising murder in cold blood and celebrating it. And you guys thought, and you don't think there's some dumb, lost people in this world? You don't, like, look at everything, how he did. He wants the appearance, the targeting. He's bringing up medical. It's the same shit, dude. Sad. But that's why we need love. We need healing. We need to work out, find enjoyment, and then that's it. Call it a day, bro. You know? So show some love. And I hope y'all just, stay away from evil, bro. You know what I'm saying? And because you guys are blessed. And you have way more in your life than the world will tell you sometimes, okay? So, be blessed, baby. Be blessed. All right. Coming down again. You got Citi on the low. Why is Citi flushing? That's the only bank I've seen go down. They've all been killing it from domestic to Europe. So, that's kind of odd. And then see Apple, JP Morgan. I'd really watch JP Morgan on that. Yeah, they're coming down now, but it could just be everything else. But then now that'll be the second one in the banking land. Oh, wait, is this live?
Stabilize at that rate, and then request an
Boeing,
approval from the FAA
for the next rate increase
to 42 aircraft a month.
I'm going to play this in honor of Bradley
Frizzle. We achieved a rate of 38 airplanes per month, and we're now focused on demonstrating stability at that rate. We'll continue to use key performance indicators that have been agreed to with the FAA.
Visa, Caterpillar, Visa, Big Flush. Oh, it looked worse on the low ticker, but still $1.
Steadily progress in line with our expectations we set at the beginning of the year. We expect to be in a position to request approval from the FAA in the coming months to increase to 42 aircraft per month. On 787, we successfully completed a capstone review in the quarter, and the program is now at production rate of 7 airplanes per month.
Oh, TLT all day
like
today,
our team in Renton, our team in Charleston is now focused on stabilizing at the new production rate and using KPIs that we're tracking, and they still look good. They're all green. We'll continue to track those over the near term before preparing for the next rate increase. Turning now to our commercial development programs, we continue to progress with our 777X flight test program and remain focused on the work ahead to get the airplane certified and delivered to our customers.
No red pill, blue pill. It's the Last Supper.
Including 4 dedicated airplanes, the program is
Caterpillar too. That was dumping with the rest of these.
And 4,000 flight hours. Flight testing continues with no new technical issues to report. So good progress so far, but we still have a lot of work to do. Production of the first 777X-8 freighter is underway, with the first hole drilled in the wing spar this month,
Visa again,
and work on major
AMD.
assemblies at Boeing and key suppliers is in progress. On 737-7 and -10, we continue to mature the technical solutions for engine anti-ice and the certification path for these 737 MAX family derivatives. Work on the solution is taking longer than expected, and we now are expecting certification in 2026. As we previously said, we don't expect a material impact to our production plans, and we're prepared to build other 737 models for our customers. Switching now to Boeing Defense and Space, as you know, we recently named Steve Parker as our permanent defense business CEO. Steve's a terrific leader and has guided the team in our recovery, helping to stabilize our defense business, improve our customer relationships, while developing his people with a focus on building a strong culture. And I look forward to his continued leadership in this turnaround. We had another good quarter on our fixed price development programs and held our EACs for the second consecutive quarter. Our renewed efforts around baseline and risk management of these programs are producing early results. Again, like in commercial, we have a lot of work
low
to get
ticker
these
picking
programs
up, SPY
through
coming
the
near the
development
low.
phase.
Gold is
like
starting to move too.
We're headed. On MQ-25, the team began ground testing and successfully worked through the production
I don't think the JP Morgan Apple thing is good, no.
Bringing the program closer to first flight for the U.S. Navy. On T-7, we finalized the MOA with the U.S. Air Force to build 4 production representative aircraft, and now have completed 5 milestones associated with the
and then Micron.
agreement.
You're still chips.
As we've said, active
red
management
candle
is a
turning green
win-win
on the
for
SPY.
both us and our customers.
Yeah, Micron just woke
and
up.
show us how this approach works to de-risk some of our development
Nothing has
programs
hit the wire yet
while
with
delivering
Boeing.
capability to our customer. On KC-46, we delivered 5 tanker aircraft in the quarter. Recent global events remind us this platform continues to deliver unparalleled capability, versatility, and operational flexibility for the warfighter, no matter where we are. As the customer gains confidence in our stability and operations, the U.S. Air Force recently shared its sole source approach for the next batch of KC-46 tankers beyond the current program of record. Turning now to our space portfolio, we recently captured an important win with the U.S. Space Force, awarding Boeing a $2.8 billion contract for the development and production of 2 satellites to deliver resilient, space-based nuclear command and control and communications for the United States. This contract is consistent with our strategy to ensure we enter into the appropriate contract type for the appropriate type of work. Furthermore, this award is a testament to our role as a leader in national security space and we stand ready to support future programs like the Golden Dome. Looking forward, the recently enacted reconciliation bill also increases national defense spending by $150 billion through fiscal year 2029, providing funding for Boeing defense programs like the F-15EX, the MQ-25, the E-7, and proprietary programs, among others. Our portfolio is well positioned to meet the priorities of our customers and the current global threat environment. Next, we'll discuss Boeing Global Services. BGS had another strong quarter, continued to deliver great performance for our company as they support our defense and commercial customers. In the quarter, we delivered the first P-8 with enhanced anti-submarine warfare technology to the U.S. Navy, marking a major milestone for our team in Jacksonville, Florida. BGS also secured a contract to provide P-8A aircraft training systems and support to the Republic of Korean Navy. And in commercial services, we opened our third parts distribution center in Germany and our 9th global location dedicated to shipping spares. Our network of distribution centers enables quicker repairs as well as maintenance and overhaul work to keep airplanes in service, all focused at serving a growing aftermarket. Turning now to global trade, where the environment has been dynamic. We continue to simultaneously monitor policy developments while mitigating the potential impacts of tariffs as trade negotiations continue. As a reminder, about 80% of our commercial supply chain spending goes to U.S. suppliers, and about 80% of our commercial deliveries are to customers outside the U.S. As a leading U.S. exporter, ongoing free trade is important to our business. Our top priority is promoting continuity of supply, and we're working across the supply chain to ensure suppliers are focused on meeting the strong market demand. You'll recall that we framed the risk of higher input costs in our first quarterly call, and our team is doing well to manage within that framework. We are seeing some of these input tariffs resolved through negotiation agreements like the one announced over the weekend between the U.S. and the EU, and the bilateral with the UK. So overall, we're probably feeling better today, but we still need to actively manage through this dynamic environment. We appreciate the administration and Congress for championing U.S. aerospace industry around the world and applaud President Trump and the EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen for reaching a negotiated agreement that will be good for the aerospace industry in the U.S. and Europe.
Hit a low, but no real crazy.
The administration understands the role of our sector in strengthening the U.S. trade balance, and we're optimistic that future agreements will address aircraft and parts as we work through our diverse backlog of more than $600 billion for our global customers. During the past several quarters, you've heard me talk about 4 key areas that will enable our recovery. This morning, we've touched on the progress to stabilize our business, improve program execution, and build on our future with key wins. I'd like to now spend a few moments going through our progress on our culture change. You may recall earlier this year, employees helped create a new set of values and behaviors that we shared across the company. I'm very excited about how the employees have embraced this. It's simple, it's straightforward, and it's helping people rally around change. This month, we took our next step in rebuilding our culture by introducing our new performance management approach to strengthen accountability, develop careers, and measure what they accomplished and how they achieved
first
their
highs
goals
of the day.
through our values.
They got hit
and
on the NVO stuff too.
These measures will
More
be important
insurance
because they
and
determine how we reward, develop, and promote our people. I'm confident as we continue to change our culture, work to rebuild trust, and strengthen accountability,
we just saw 2 fucking massive candles in
we have
in
an
the
incredible
lead up,
opportunity ahead.
Yeah, we'll see.
Now, before I conclude my prepared remarks, I'd like to give special thanks to our employees for their dedicated and hard work throughout the quarter.
The Department of Justice
the
fires
energy that they're creating here
enforcers.
And the focus on delivering to our customers, meeting commitments, and execution is really paying off.
Spy about to hit the
I
low.
also want to extend my deep appreciation
Amazon
to Brian
low.
West for his
Again, if you get
outstanding
Apple or
work over
Google
the last
going
4
down, we're
years
going to hit a low.
to stabilize our business
Citi and JP Morgan still down.
All while continuing to position the company for our future. And I particularly want to thank him for the support he's given me this past year. As you know, we recently announced Jay Malavi will join Boeing in a couple weeks as our new CFO, as Brian transitions into a senior advisory role. I look forward to welcoming Jay to Boeing.
Okay, new low, that low ticker, 30-second, 1 minute, bro.
Thanks, Brian. Now I'll hand it over to you to discuss the operating results before we move to questions.
Okay, get ready. He might say some good shit
Thanks,
here.
Kelly, and good morning, everyone. Let's start with the total company financial performance
Why
for the
don't
quarter.
you yell at us?
Revenue was $22.7 billion, up 35%, primarily driven by higher commercial delivery volume.
Primarily driven by Donald J.
The core
Trump.
loss per share of $1.24 was a significant improvement compared to last year, driven by higher commercial deliveries and
we would
improved
like to thank our
performance
suitor,
across the business.
Donald John Trump,
Free cash flow was
for
a usage
making
of
us a
$200
part
million
of
in the quarter,
every deal.
reflecting higher commercial deliveries and
Largest
working
U.S.
capital
rail
that
union
improved
plans
compared
to
both the
oppose
prior year
Norfolk
and the prior
Southern
quarter.
Union Pacific merger.
Our free cash flow was better than expectations shared in April, driven by higher commercial delivery volume and better wide-body mix, as well as favorable timing of CapEx. Turn to the next page, I'll cover BCA. BCA delivered 150 airplanes in the quarter. Revenue was $10.9 billion.
But bonds still want to go up too. Okay, low ticker is active. You just hit a new low. Very reminiscent of yesterday.
455
so just get ready for it.
In the quarter.
Again, I think just get ready for end of the day. Just don't get too panicky. But at this point, you're still doing what you did yesterday, where you got a couple of names tied into earnings, everything else just meandering. But now you're like going down. You're not staying
ended
pinned.
at $522 billion, which was up more than $60 billion sequentially. This includes more than 5,900 airplanes that translate to over 7 years of production. And the 737 and the 787 are both sold firm into the next decade.
Nice.
Now we'll give more color on the key programs. The 737 program delivered 104 airplanes in 2Q, including 42 in June. On production, the factory steadily increased rate during the quarter, with monthly production reaching 38 per month in May, and the team remains intent on stabilizing at that level. Importantly, the operational KPIs continue to progress, and we still expect to be in a position to request approval to go above 38 per month in the coming months. Spirit continues to deliver fuselages with improved quality and flow, which sets us up well for both the production ramp and the reintegration.
More goal.
Closing on this transaction.
If he says anything about good FAA deliveries or ramping production,
more broadly on the master schedule, we continue to make adjustments
outside of any guidance
to manage supplier by supplier based on inventory levels. Over the past year, our buffer inventory has grown to promote stability across our production system. As production continues to stabilize and rates increase over time, we plan to deliberately return buffer inventory to more normal levels. The quarter ended with about 20 737-8s built prior to 2023, down 15 from 1Q, which are for customers in China. We now expect to complete the rework on these airplanes and shut down the shadow factory in the third
See
quarter.
What he says about China. I didn't think about that.
On the 7 and 10, inventory levels were stable at approximately 35 airplanes. As Kelly said, we continue to mature the certification path for these programs. The engine anti-ice solution has taken us longer, and we now expect certification next year. As we said, we will build other MAX models for affected customers and don't expect an impact on our planned production rates, with the financial impact of this revised timeline reflected in the program margins this quarter.
So the revised timeline is not good, but him saying
on
it's
the
not going to change
787,
anything,
we delivered 24 airplanes in the quarter as the program continued to demonstrate improved stability. After stabilizing at 5 per month and completing a successful capstone review in the quarter, the production rate is now at 7 per month, and the program is focused on stabilizing the production system prior to future rate increases. 2Q ended with about 15 airplanes in inventory built prior to 2023, down 5 from 1Q. The rework on these remaining airplanes is complete, and we expect to deliver about half of these units this year and the other half in 2026, in line with our customers' fleet planning requirements. Finally, on 777X, flight testing activities with the FAA continue to progress, and we remain focused on the work ahead to deliver the airplane next year. 777X inventory was up about $900 million in the quarter and will continue to grow as we move towards entry in service, as we previously shared. Moving on to the next page in BDS. BDS booked $19 billion in orders during the quarter, and the backlog grew to $74 billion. Revenue was $6.6 billion, up 10% on improved operational performance, and BDS delivered 34 aircraft and 2 satellites in the quarter. Operating margin of 1.7% was up significantly compared to last year, also reflecting the better operating performance in 2Q. The business continued to make important progress in its recovery, and the game plan to get BDS back to high single-digit margins remains a key focus. Our core business remains solid, representing approximately 60% of our revenue and performing in the mid to high single-digit margin range. The demand for these products remains very strong, supported by the global threat environment confronting our nation and allies. On the roughly 25% of the portfolio that's primarily comprised of fighter and satellite programs, operations continue to reflect the stabilizing performance trends that began in the first quarter, which drove relatively consistent sequential margins. Lastly, on our fixed price development programs that represent the remaining 15% of revenue, we continue to work to stabilize and mature these programs. This quarter's results reflect improved operational performance, and we remain focused on retiring risk and ultimately delivering these important capabilities to our customers.
Holding you up, them and Microsoft.
In the quarter, we made progress on the NQ-25 program, which started ground testing, as well as the T-7A program,
so
which achieved 3 additional customer milestones.
Equal-weight's actually doing better. Holy fuck.
Overall, the defense portfolio is well positioned for the future.
The last like 10 minutes here, this is big tech going down, but like you got a little bit of rotation.
Stabilize production,
Equal-weight's
execute on development programs, and transition to new contracts with tighter underwriting standards.
A couple of others. Adobe, decent pop.
Moving on to the next page in Boeing Global Services. BGS continued to perform well, delivering very strong financial results in the quarter. The business received $5 billion in orders, and the backlog ended at $22 billion. Revenue was $5.3 billion, up 8% year over year, primarily reflecting improved commercial and government volume. Operating margin was 19.9% in the quarter, up 210 basis points compared to last year on favorable performance and mix, including a one-time gain.
That little eco-weight thing.
Both our commercial and government
businesses again delivered ignore what I just said. But if eco-weight holds up, wow, this dumps. This is baby rotation.
Repair and overhaul
but now
facility
eco-weight just took a candle
Airport.
2 minutes later.
And
so now everybody's starting to flush a little bit. You got a couple of winners, but this is probably the most active the low ticker has been all day.
Korean Navy. BGS remains a terrific long-term franchise that is focused on profitable, long-term, efficient offerings, and the team continues to execute very well. Turning to the page, I'll cover cash and debt. Cash and marketable securities ended at $23 billion, primarily reflecting the debt repayment and free cash flow usage in the quarter. Debt balance ended at $53.3 billion, down $300 million in the quarter on the paydown of maturing debt, with $300 million of maturities left in the year. The company maintains access to $10 billion of revolving credit facilities, all of which remain undrawn. We remain committed to managing the balance sheet in a prudent manner with 2 main objectives. First, continue to prioritize the investment grade rating, and second, allow the factory and supply chain to stabilize. Let me provide some additional context on the macro backdrop before getting into the free cash flow
China's starting
outlook.
to dump too.
We continue to closely monitor ongoing policy developments and work to promote our industry's importance to the long-term economic and trade objectives of the administration. And we were encouraged by certain bilateral trade deals that were announced in the quarter, including the recent agreement with the EU. Given our position as a top U.S. exporter, free trade policy across commercial aerospace continues to be very important to us.
Coin on the low.
On the input cost side, we continue to work closely with our suppliers to promote continuity of supply and pursue options to mitigate tariff cost pressures. And as we said, Any financial impact is not significant.
Tap a little pop, 10 cents.
Regarding free cash flow, we expect
I think it's just earnings.
Free cash
Whatever
flow
you think
to be
is
more or less
happening
in
is
line
not
with the second
material,
quarter
it's not
usage
updates. Just remember,
before any impact from a
you've had
potential
another
one-time
big set of
DOJ
S&P
payment.
companies report this
That
morning.
sets us up for
We got
positive
conference
free cash flow
calls.
in the
There's
fourth
money moving
quarter,
around.
so long as the
all of
global
that, and at
trade
the end of the
environment
day, they're going to
continues
set up
remain
for the next
favorable
set
for
of
the
earnings.
industry, and our commercial delivery forecast
Cap
remains
getting
intact.
volume here at the high. Procter
Broadly,
Gamble
the markets we serve
outlook
continue
full
to be
year
significant,
adjusted
and our
0 to
backlog
4%.
demonstrates the strength of our
Outlook
product
full year
portfolio.
revenue growth 1 to 5%.
Long term, these fundamentals
Procter
underpin our
Gamble coming
confidence
out with
in
numbers
managing
right
the
now,
business with a long-term
updates.
view built
I'm
on
gonna check
safety,
estimates for
quality, and delivering for our customers. With that, let's open up for questions.
We will now begin the question and answer session. In the interest of time and to allow for broader participation, we ask that you limit yourself to one single part question. Our first question comes from the line of Miles Walton from Wolfe Research. Your line is open.
Thanks. Good morning. Brian, thanks for all the help the last 4 years. You've always been straightforward in assessing these ups and downs. It's good to see we're on the upside. Can you, and on that point, can you lay out for us the $2 billion better performance here on free cash flow in the second quarter?
I don't know. I don't see the PG.
How much of
it's a
that
little bit better, but I'm trying to see how much better. Because if that PG guidance is fat, we play it.
Are we comfortable? Say around 3
We had the
billion or
India
so,
headline earlier, but yeah, that's kind of the hype there.
For the year.
Well, thank you, Miles. That number you threw out there in terms of $3 billion, that's probably a pretty good assumption. And let me just walk you through some of the pieces. The first half,
the estimate's
free cash flow usage of
$3.2.
$2.5 billion exceeded our expectations. And the second
so the
quarter
revenue growth number
is
low on the low end and then double the high end.
It's primarily driven by better
but it's not that
PCA delivery performance.
The EPS
well
one, that's the good thing.
Items.
So they lowered the low end and then doubled the high end.
777 program.
That was going to be a little harder to play.
We see 6 to 7 777 deliveries in a given quarter. We had 13 in the second quarter, which drove an incremental $700 million of positive free cash flow. Now, as we think about the third quarter, before we adjust for a potential one-time item, free cash flow, as I mentioned, is going to look a little bit more like the 2Q usage, more or less. And here are the things that are driving it. The benefit of lower interest payments will be offset by this 777 2Q reversal that I just outlined. On volume, 737 could be a bit better.
It's in the green.
And I think the 787 is going to be pretty
That's the one
steady.
that went red, or it's about
and there's
to.
a few $100 million of unfavorable timing shift from 2Q to 3Q, mainly CapEx spend. On top of this, in the third quarter, there's a potential for a $700 million one-time payment related to the DOJ non-prosecution case. So that's the third quarter, which then sets us up for the fourth quarter to be positive. And as long as the global trade environment remains favorable and we make progress on the rate increases, we expect the fourth quarter to turn free cash flow positive and set us up to end the year with a very nice positive momentum heading into 2026. So when I put all that together, I think your number there of $3 billion is pretty reasonable for the full year.
Thanks, Brian.
Your next question comes from the line of Sheila Kahyaoglu from Jefferies. Your line is open.
Good morning, Kelly, Brian, and Brian, congratulations on ending on a high note, and thank you. Kelly, maybe one for you on tariffs. You know, we've seen a number of trade agreements announced.
Okay, SPY's still doing it. A couple names on the high that Adobe keeps going, but that low ticker, active, couple of staples, PM, MO, they got earnings too. They're on the high.
How do you think the
the
order
low
momentum
ticker, it's
builds
almost
from here,
maxed out
and
after
given the 7-year
NVIDIA
backlog,
and Google have dropped.
How does that factor into pricing and
then we're
deal negotiations
we're 2
and any
minutes shy,
potential
top of the
impact
hour.
on supply chain?
And now equal weight
Sheila,
dropping. You have filled the gap. You're below 6,400 now by 15 points.
Here in the last quarter. Let me start a little bit with input tariffs because I think that's still important. As you recall, we outlined a less than $500 million impact on the input tariffs. One of the key areas for us is the equipment we import from Japan. So getting this Japan agreement in place, and we understand that to include a 0 for 0, no input tariffs will be helpful for us going forward. So that was one of the big ones. We still need to see what happens with Italy. As you know, we import some fuselage components from Alenia in Italy. So hopefully that will also result in 0 for 0. My understanding is that is the kind of the baseline negotiation strategy as they go through these bilaterals, that we will end up in a 0 for 0, but still work yet to do. In terms of the demand side, yeah, I mean, everybody's looking at their trade imbalance and saying, how do I address that? And no better way than to make a big aircraft order. So the order environment is going to be very good.
NVO 53
in terms of pricing,
flushing.
Irrespective of the
so that's a new low. It was lower pre-market
demand,
but yeah, it's doing it's not doing the intraday recovery.
We've been
so it's not like a whirlpool where they got the cash bid and then just started going.
Reflect that environment.
It's actually tripping out like it has more bad news.
Also give us an opportunity,
because Eli Lilly just went up.
Some of the cost
so watch any of the other sympathies just in case, but it looks like it's only NVO.
Going forward. So, the landscape's pretty good right now. A couple areas I just think we got to keep watching. One is making sure that
RCL keeps going up, and then Coca-Cola.
We don't end up back in retaliatory tariffs with China. So we are making deliveries, as you know, right now, and hopefully that comes to a resolution. And then the USMCA program agreement is still very important because of the amount we import from Mexico and Canada. So as they revisit that USMCA, hopefully that stays in the same trade situation that we're in today, so we don't see additional tariffs there going forward. But look, if we continue to see this 0 for 0, I think we'll be able to beat that $500 million bogey that we've established here.
Great, thank you.
I was saying if they could handle the tariffs, and if it goes
Your
a
next
little bit in their
question comes
favor,
from the line of Peter Arment from Baird. Your line is open.
Yeah, thanks. Good morning, Kelly and Brian, and thanks again, Brian, for all your support over the last 4 years. Really appreciate it. Hey, Kelly, maybe we could talk a little bit about maybe the longer-term framework, how you're thinking on rates when you think about the progress you're seeing on the 737 MAX and the 787, and I guess specifically on the 787, it seems like the demand continues to be really strong with obviously the orders that you're seeing, and there's a wide body replacement cycle. It seems to be heating up. How are you thinking about where the long-term rates could go there? Thanks.
Well, first of all, Peter, one step at a time. We just moved from 5 to 7 a month very successfully, and as I said in the prepared remarks, our KPIs are green.
Those are hitting the wire.
That rate increase.
The Boeing comments.
So we'll stabilize
Boeing's getting a little active
at that rate, and then we'll consider moving
I don't think he said anything
to
too
the
crazy.
next rate. We have
like you said, the tariffs. That's like the third company that has either said it explicitly or like indirectly, where they're like, "Yo, we can handle tariffs, even if it hit us now, it wouldn't hit us as hard, and then if it gets better, they'll benefit."
Beyond the current capacity
especially
of our
Boeing
facilities there. So the market demand is strong for 87, and increasing rates is part of our plan to address that market. On the MAX, we're at the 38 a month rate, and like we said, we're stabilizing right now. I expect to be going to the FAA soon to start the negotiation or discussions on the rate increases. We do still have one KPI that is below threshold that we're still working. Not surprising. We know it's the amount of rework hours we have on the airplane, so we're working that down. And once we get that KPI where we need it, then we'll be having those discussions with the FAA. We've said rate increases beyond that will go in increments of 5. No earlier than
VZ
6 months.
On the
that doesn't
high.
mean it's on 6
Yo,
months.
Verizon, kind of random. It's green. Spy about to go into another low. Now you got AT&T as well. They're both breaking out.
Go to the new rate.
NVO, I don't know what that was besides the bad news in the morning. AT&T Communications catching a pop.
Has the right metrics before we go request an increase in rate, and if they aren't, then we'll stay at that
new
rate
low on this Spy.
The stability to where we want it, but we've kind of said no earlier than 6 month increments.
Okay, you even got a new low on the equal way, but this is like the Spy's third new
Appreciate
low.
The color. Thanks, Kelly.
Now you got oil going up. Watch out if we get any headline out of
Your next
Russia.
question comes from the line of David Strauss from Barclays. Your line is open.
Thanks. Good morning, Brian. Thanks for the help and best of luck. following up there, wanted to ask about MAX delivery guidance for this year and 787 as well. I think previously, Brian, you talked about 400 deliveries. It looks like you're on the MAX. Looks like you're tracking ahead of that, maybe in the 425 plus range. And is 787 still looking around 80? And then if you could just also, Brian, quickly touch on the movement in inventory in the quarter, given that you absorbed a pretty big hit on the 777X, but the inventory balance came down. Thanks.
Gold too.
Yeah, on the inventory one, we did have an up as expected in the 777X, but we also liquidated a lot of wide bodies, as I mentioned. So all that kind of was in the right net trajectory for inventory. And that 777X, we still expect that as we move towards EIS, that is going to go up as we expected. So don't get too concerned about that movement as we move into the back half of the year. In terms of deliveries, so on 787, we've delivered 37 airplanes in the first half, and we're focused on stabilizing at 7 per month.
Again, that's the second little candle at the high. I don't have anything on the communications.
For the year, so we're at the high end of that range.
And on the 737, as you mentioned, we targeted this is bad. This is going to slow you down a little bit. Air brakes.
We've delivered 209
now
airplanes
you got
in the
NVIDIA
first half,
going red.
37
it's
out of
about
inventory.
to, but now Google's
and as we
picking up the
continue
slack.
to have good performance, we're poised to do a little better than the 400
so if you could get Apple
for the
up
full year, as you
Google
mentioned.
up
So we feel like we're in pretty good shape heading into the second half.
And gold keeps climbing. Again, it's still red. Actually, no, now it's green.
Your next question comes from the line of Ron Epstein from Bank of America. Your line is open.
Who's on the list?
Hey, good morning, guys. So maybe, Kelly, if you could dig down a little bit more on the engine anti-icing issue.
Oh yeah,
with
it did just go red.
-7 and -10. What's going on there? Yeah, you mentioned in some your remarks and on CNBC before that it's taking longer. What about it is taking longer, and how should we think about that?
Yeah, so we've got several different designs.
Okay, bro. VZ and AT, bro, more staples.
On the,
so yeah, it's a little choppy. I think it's because it's earnings. It's like a baby rotation going on right now. You guys get that? Like, because you're still dumping on both of them, and everything's kind of drained. But I think it's too hard to ignore it now. It's not like a full-blown rotation, but it's like a mini rotation. You still have some names going down. You have more names green than not. We'll check in a little bit, but you're watching other names like real staples, discretionary that have been underperforming, whether they had good earnings or not. They're catching a bid. Meanwhile, you're just getting, some tech good, some tech bad, and then everybody else meandering.
Designs have not yielded in the time frame that we were anticipating, and so we still have work to do.
Got it. Thank you.
Oh, Boeing. No way.
Your next question comes from the line of Doug Harnett from Bernstein. Your line is open.
Good morning. Thank you.
eToro to launch
Brian,
tokenized stocks on Ethereum blockchain.
And good luck.
Fuck yeah. So now you have two different brokerages with two different blockchains to misrepresent equity. Nice.
You've had this goal.
That's exactly what I was saying. So then when you try to transfer one to the other, it doesn't even value.
On the max.
And then one will be on Ethereum, one will be on Solana, one will be on blockchain, or on Bitcoin, and then other one will be on Stellar. And then all the networks are different.
That
and then
seems
you need a
like
different
a very
wallet for every single one.
Target,
unless you know how to get them all.
Really done that
what the fuck is happening?
9 to 12 month type intervals. What has given you the confidence that you can move to those levels potentially, and where do you see the biggest bottlenecks in getting there? And I'd say including the supply chain, and I'll just throw in, how are you thinking of using the fourth line in Everett in conjunction with this?
Yeah, so let me start with the fourth line in Everett. So predominantly that will be focused at the -10 variant. The -10 variant is has the most change from all the other variants, so it will naturally flow through the factory at a slower pace. So by isolating or providing that fourth line in Everett, it will allow us to let the 3 lines in Renton flow faster. So that is a big change from what we've done in the past, having that many lines flowing. So that's one of the areas that gives us additional confidence. We've invested in the in the capacity.
Wait, you're still in another low.
Another thing from a supply
Silver
chain.
and
Remember,
gold,
we've
other
got,
commodities,
as Brian
they're waking up.
outlined, we've got a tremendous
wait till
amount of
Bitcoin comes
inventory,
out. They've been dumping since the morning.
In place. So I think in the near term, as we ramp
you
the Max,
used to call me on my long time.
Supply chain's not going to be a challenge.
Late night when you need some stuff. As we get to those you call me on my long time.
Yes, we'll be balancing, getting more to a balanced inventory level.
I'm listening to conference call. What do you want me to do?
Can achieve those rates is work yet for us to do with the supply chain. Now, keep
Delta
in mind, we generally have them at a higher rate than we
McDonald's,
are.
That's another staple right there.
So we'll be able to see.
So yeah,
where those
baby rotation, I could definitely call that.
In advance.
It's not like what you saw last week. It's not like
this is one of these
strong and aggressive, one-sided. Just like half of the names that should rotate are, and the other half is whatever they're doing or subjected to earnings.
Constantly are working each one of those down because we're in a perpetual rate increase kind of environment. So we've got huge market demand, and we need to satisfy that demand. And the only way we're going to do that is through these methodical rate increases. But I will say we're going to do the same thing we've done here as we've gotten to 38.
Bonds the whole time.
Is to keep it stable, build high-quality airplanes, and if we start to wobble, then we're going to stay at that rate.
Can y'all not say wobble, please?
Y'all
don't got a good rep for that.
Okay, thank you.
Your next question comes from the line of Seth Seifman from J.P. Morgan. Your line is open.
Hey, thanks very much. Good morning, everyone. And Brian, thanks for everything. Best of luck. Maybe since it's your last call, we could do an accounting question. And if you could talk a little bit about the progression in BCA margins from here, both as the different programs ramp up, and also I think you mentioned maybe some
so Mo and Philip Morris, they've been going all day. Mo reports tomorrow morning.
Certification timing for the 7 and 10.
Or wait, was Mo this morning?
Yeah, let me hit that last one. So any kind of adjustments are really modest given the size of the program. So you're not really going to see, and I wouldn't have you worry about that. I would say overall, BCA margins are expected to be negative for the year.
Oil ripping again. So meanwhile, while we've declined and had this little baby rotation,
remember, first quarter was negative 6.6.
down and all that. You have
second
had
quarter,
oil
we just posted
moving.
negative 5.1.
So, yeah,
and we
kind of like right
to get
around
better
here
as we move into the
as we
second
started
half
kind of dumping,
quarter,
that oil
still
lift still going.
And if you step back, BCA margins will be better in 2026, but it's way too early to characterize that any further.
Chilled after that
and then,
spike.
as Kelly and I have both said consistently, that long term, there's nothing that we see that would suggest that we can't get back to historical margin levels performance. So we just got to keep working the recovery plan, get back to these rates, get the productivity, and then this should be something
on
that
the high.
Is in much better shape.
They were dumping earlier. Yeah, core weave just went red to green. Now it's moving. So see if we start to get a lift in tech. Otherwise,
next question comes from the line of Ken Herbert from RBC Capital Markets. Your line is open.
Thank you.
Yeah, hi, good morning, Kelly and Brian. I wanted to maybe pivot over to BDS if we could. You've got some good momentum in that business, good budget backdrop, some leadership now on a permanent basis there. You're obviously facing some work stoppage issue or strike risk, but how do we think about that with the opportunity and the pace of margin improvement in BDS as you seem to have turned a corner from a risk standpoint, but when do we think about that business getting back to the mid to high single digits, and what's the pace in the second half of the year?
Yeah, let me address the strike question first. So, just to put in context, it's about 3,200 employees. They build the fighters, mechanics. They build the fighters and our munitions business in St. Louis and St. Charles. So, the order of magnitude of this is much less than what we saw last fall. That was roughly 30,000 machinists. So we'll manage through this. I wouldn't worry too much about the implications of the strike. We'll manage our way through that. Look, we've said that, and Brian said it in his prepared remarks, we want to get our BDS business back to high single-digit margin. See nothing that's going to keep us from doing that. couple points is as we're entering into these new contracts, we're following our process to make sure that we only enter into the appropriate contracting type. So these recent big wins we have, the development parts of those programs have all been cost plus, so we're not making the errors of the past in signing up for fixed price development, high risk programs. So, we do have this pig in the python that we've just got to push through relative to these big development programs. But Parker's doing a great job in working with his customers to de-risk those programs and help us get those through the development phase. So we're just going to have to keep doing that. This active management that we've started with the T7 is a great example of how we can go change the outcome of this that's beneficial to both us and the customer. And, we're playing that playbook in other areas as well.
Great, thank you.
Your next question comes from the line of Noah Poponak from Goldman Sachs. Your line is open.
Hey, good morning, everyone. And let me add my thanks, Brian, for the work with us over the recent years. Clarification on the free cash discussion for this year. If 3Q looks like 2Q, and then I put the $700 million on top of that, 4Q would have to be kind of barely positive to be -3 for the year. And given the historical seasonality there, I'd think that would maybe be a little better if I'm missing something there. And then beyond 25, the consensus is around the $10 billion framework you used to have in 2027 and 2028. And I just wanted to ask, without putting a year on it, is with the demand you have and the profitability and working capital picture you see, is the 10 still the right framework and it's just a matter of time? Or is that kind of number very far in the future?
Let me have Kelly respond to the last part. Let me take the first part in terms of the question
down
this
too.
year.
So again, this fifth low now, the VIX is up. So the VIX was decisively in the red all day today, and now it's like at this low, you kind of set it off. So see if we bottom out or if it gets worse.
We're anxious to get to stable as we head into the second half. So, fourth quarter, it'll be positive. How positive is going to be a function of how our delivery performance and rate performance goes. And a lot of that is uncertain because we've got to do things like get above the 38. So I would just, be a little, give us a little bit of time. It'll be positive. I think the $3 billion net is the right reasonable assumption right now. And as we move through the rest of the year, we'll have plenty of time to update you on progress. And Kelly, maybe take the other part.
Yeah, no, look, I see nothing structural that says we can't get to that $10 billion. So I think you framed it perfectly.
In the morning when the video was up, and now
and I'm not ready yet to say when. We got a lot of work to do here as we've talked through all the production rates and see how we're doing in these rate increases. How long does it take us between rate increases? How's the supply chain doing? But I think that's certainly a target out there that still looks reasonable to me. I don't see anything that knocks us off of that. We'll just have to look real long and hard at when are we going to get to that level.
Thank you.
TMO, Thermo Fisher.
Your next question comes from the line of Scott Deuschle from Deutsche Bank. Your line is open.
Hey, good morning,
Hello.
Kelly. It seems that Airbus will be making some architecture decisions on its next generation single aisle within the next few years. I think potentially selecting the engine architecture by around 2027. So in that context, do you have a sense for when BCA will need to begin making these types of design decisions in order to have a competitive entry into service date for its own next generation single aisle?
Yeah, we're working through that. I'm not in a position where I want to announce any decision dates at this particular time. I've said this in the past. We've got 3 work streams here that we've got to mature. One is the readiness of the market for the new airplane, and
why don't you ready the plane for the sky?
Yeah, for new airplane.
How about you do that?
When are we ready?
They keep falling, big dog.
Turning the company around and generating cash flow is really important to when we're ready to launch it, as well as when is the technology ready. And engine technology is a part of it, but it's beyond just engine technology. So we're maturing all of those and we'll do that.
Yeah, IWM, bro, and it was doing good. It was matched up with the NASDAQ, but everything is red now.
And probably not tomorrow.
Equal weight's doing better. That was not the case for the first 2
Rob,
hours.
We have time for one more question.
So look, equal weight's barely red now.
Certainly.
SPY
your final question comes from the line of Christine Lewag from Morgan Stanley. Your line is open.
So let's see. And then
great, thanks everyone. Brian, echoing everyone's thanks. Thank you for all your help.
Staples, once again.
Kelly, congrats on your first full year at Boeing. It's great to see stability in aircraft production. I guess looking back, what surprised you most in your year one at Boeing, and where do your priorities lie for 2026?
Well, thanks, Christine. First of all, it's not a year yet. It's August 8th when it's a year, so I still have some work to do. But, I'm pretty pleased with where we are through the first half and through my first year. Clearly, the surprises have been, just a lot of the macro dynamics that we've been through. I mean, we've been through quite a bit. I'm not surprised with the performance of the company and the recovery. We've got great people in the company. We've got great market positions. My role here is just help everybody get organized and headed in the right direction. It's turning a big ship around. I think that we're turning it. I don't think it's turned. We still have a lot of work to do. But I haven't been overly surprised with what I learned. As you know, I spent a lot of my career working very closely with Boeing. So not a lot of surprises with what we're dealing with. It's it's just one day at a time, improve our performance, address the issues that we have, restore trust and build confidence with our customer base and end users of our products. And I think you're seeing that. So like I said, I feel pretty good
bro,
with the first half, but we got a lot of work yet to do in the second half.
We got to get this.
Great, thank you.
And that completes the Boeing Company's second quarter 2025 earnings conference call. Thank you for joining.
All right, fine. I should have went pee. I was ready to go. I was going cuckoo. They heard me. They were seeing me sing songs and shit, bro.
With capital on the balance sheet from time to time if it can lower our cost of funding and help give us continued
Real Cold News on Twitter. 10 more minutes, we're going to do push-ups, so you can start now if you want, baby.
We'll continue to evaluate opportunities.
Good morning.
Anthony, what a run. Watching it with great interest. It's good to have you back. Anthony Noto with SoFi. Thanks.
Thank you, Carl.
Shares on the other side of Novo Nordisk plunging this morning after the company cuts guidance and names a new CEO. We'll get one strategist take on the announcement.
I ran back. I heard it.
Shares of Spotify sinking on the heels of this relatively weak Q3 guidance, while the company said AI has helped the business. We'll talk about how it might also be posing a threat.
We're back in a minute. PII, didn't they have good earnings? Boom. All right, we'll see where they get back there. Oh. All right, perfect. Okay, you just hit another low.
OpenAI-backed startup Ambience Healthcare has announced it's raised $243 million in a new funding round, valuing the administrative AI company at more than $1 billion. For more, Nikhil Baduma, Ambience Healthcare co-founder and chief scientist, joins us. It's really interesting. I actually go back to maybe even 3 years, and this is where a lot of people said the promise in the near term was AI in healthcare. The administrative task. But the round is big. I mean, what do you need $243 million to do?
Yeah, I think this round, $243 million, values the company at $1.25 billion. Now that round is led by Oak, HCFT, Andreessen Horowitz, and with participation from OpenAI. I think it's a testament to this platform that we've built for health systems, which liberates clinicians from the administrative burden and enables them to focus on their patient. And a big part of it is we've built this sort of best-in-class platform, which in practice, what it does is before the patient walks into the room, the system actually summarizes all the context for the clinician so they know what's going on with that particular patient. In the visit, it's listening in the background. It's generating the documentation automatically for the clinician on behalf of them, as well as a summary for the patient and their families. And then afterwards, it's automating all the downstream sort of revenue cycle, coding and billing, prior authorization workflows, which is how health systems get paid. I think it's allowing us to essentially work with many more institutions. We work with some of the largest healthcare are organizations, academic medical centers in the country, Cleveland Clinic, UCSF, Houston Methodist. I think this round is a testament to that
Nikhil,
work.
What's the company's core competence? You know, I understand the platform, but what is it that you're good at that's allowed you to build the platform?
I think a big part of it is we've built an incredibly deep working relationship with OpenAI and other foundation model makers to build the most capable foundation models for healthcare and medicine. And we've taken that and packaged that into a series of workflows to help clinicians. So I'll give you one example. We work with Cleveland Clinic, one of the most subspecialized academic institutions in the country. They have 100+ different specialty and subspecialty areas, and you can imagine every single one of those specialists practices different medicine. They have different workflows. There's different administrative rules, and so what we've been able to do is create a platform that services the needs of every single one of those specialists. Over 80% of clinicians at Cleveland Clinic use the technology in clinic every single day for over 70% of those visits, and that's more than 2 to 3 times some of the other alternatives on the market.
Nikhil, go to that relationship, that working relationship that you want to invest in further with OpenAI. What makes your business defensible versus OpenAI just sort of building it themselves?
General 50% tariff.
I think a big part of it is, as you think about sort of the gap between general purpose reasoning models and models that are actually clinical grade and compliance grade.
You guys, this is earnings. You remember, I mean, the last couple of days, you know, we haven't really been moving that much. And then you get like a move like this. Just remember, this is the big week of earnings. You had a lot of companies report today. So it doesn't mean this is going to be permanent. It could get a lot worse or a lot better. But fact of the matter is, this is still like earnings digestion. I mean, this is day number 2 of one of the bigger weeks. So remember, you're going to get more movement. It's usually negative because there's just so much data to process. But it's all earnings effect. I wouldn't freak out about it. Don't let it throw you off of your game. Again, you know what to look for in terms of both the calendar and rates. So let it get here, and like I'm saying, towards the middle of the day, we'll probably start to balance out. Is Boeing moving? Fuck. Yeah, no, hold on. I have a contract up on Boeing I've been watching. They just widened the spreads. So keep eyes on Boeing. I was tracking one. Because today it worked. I had a little contract glitch I was looking for, and that's what hit on the UNH. So if we do notice that, I'll call it out. Because the UNH ones are fire. Pepsi on the high. And then General Mills and Kellogg. So SPY going, and then Verizon. You guys, the rotation is getting bigger now. So it's the same names that were going there. You still got a couple of names due to earnings that are probably still pinned. But yeah, so Equal Weight now is doing better than the SPY, but they're all coming down. So it's not like you're rotating and one area is in the green. Like some days you'll have the Dow green. It's a slight rotation. And then Euro close in 4 minutes. So you guys want to do some push-ups? Can we start and do push-ups? I'll be honest with you. I've been working out this whole day. Do you know that? I have a towel under my desk, and I've been doing these little foot curls. So yeah, bro, get up, stand up, do a push-up. I know you may be scared because the market is hitting a new low, but welcome to earnings, big dog. Remember, this was the slowest earnings in 20 years, so you're finally getting the week with all the big earnings, so don't let it throw you off, man. Don't let it throw you off. But yeah, stand up, get the body moving, chest to the sun, flex the core, tuck the hips in, relax the jaw, relax the eyeballs, everything, bro. Yeah, we are only down 1.9. We started off pretty good. I mean, it's bigger the last couple of days, bro. You know, think about it. By the first time we're doing push-ups, we would be sitting at open almost every single day. You see what I'm saying? We'd spend hours to be at opening. The last 2 days, within a couple of hours, we were moving far away from it. So now that we're having earnings, we're just moving far out of earnings, but then you might just get that effect later in the day. That's what I've been talking about here. So either way, don't overthink it. You know, maybe it gets big, maybe it stays like this, but it's going to run into a wall at the end of the day called earnings, and then we're going to do this all over again tomorrow morning. So keep that in mind and get your body moving. I'm going to do some toe curls, and then I'm going to stand, and then I'm going to do my other yoga block workouts. That's it, bro. I'm a fan of the toe workouts now. You know that? Ever since I realized my pinky toe was so critical, and I didn't have full control over my pinky toe. My whole life has changed. That's it. We're now starting on regaining the epic foot control. Have you guys seen that one dude who could like he could like pick things up with his feet, and like he like climbs on walls and shit. Yeah, it's crazy. SPY's still dumping though, man. Again, more value going up if it's already there. I feel like if it's been down, call out any names that are going red to green, because then those will be the ones that pop up throughout the rotation. Otherwise, I'm seeing just a lot of the same names that were still up. Yeah, VIX is on the high. It's kind of crazy. Bibsy is a part of a staple, Habibi. You get the Antonio Brown in? No, I saw that. I know exactly what you're talking about, but mine, it was a couple weeks ago. I saw this other thing, and then it said to try this like pinky test, and I was like, holy fuck, I can't feel my pinky. Do you know how weird that is? Bro, so you guys should try it right now. Take your shoes off and try to move your pinky toe. If you can't like control your pinky toe, that's wild. So I had that happen to me, and I started tripping out, bro. So yeah, SPY, bro, it keeps going. It's picking up. Like I'm telling you, it's very different than the last few days, okay? You know, we're not at open. That's it. That's the simple explanation. So it is earnings and all of that, but it's going to start moving a little more. And then Euro close. Give it another 15 minutes. We'll let it do its thing, and then we'll go from there. Right. Time to stand up. Stand up. When I move, you move. Just on time. Alright, here's your little pop. It was a toe one. I'm like, I don't want to be like Antonio Brown, you guys. I hope y'all know. You know that? Like, just I do like toe workouts and all, but like you know I don't aspire to be Antonio Brown, right? I just don't. You know, I'm just trying to make sure that I live a healthy life, okay? Because this is the only body we get in this life. And you know, I enjoy it, but I can't wait to meet Jesus. So until then, I'll have to take care of my feet. Do you guys hear it? I'm doing toe lifts. You can kind of hear it. If you were here, you would hear it. It's hard to explain. Whew. All right, man, you're still near the low. So let this rotation work itself out. But yeah, and then today you'll get a little bit more bigger earnings. And then it's, if you think this is bad, just wait till Thursday. Julian Brown, is that the kid from yesterday? Bro, and what's wrong with you people who are mad at him? You know, I think some people, I saw people talking about the Julian Brown thing, and like, they're getting so mad. And they're like, we invented that a long time ago. He's not even a scientist. I'm like, why are you so fucking pissed off that a kid does science projects and is good at it? What's wrong with you? It's okay. I don't care if he's old or not. God bless that guy. Okay? Calm down. Just let the man live, bro. Let the man live. We just found, we were worried he wasn't even alive. All right, let me get you something to play in the background. BRB.
Including Phoenix.
Okay, Burb.
And Los Angeles, Carl. I'll send it back to you.
Silvana, thanks. After the break, the CEO of food services company Cisco is with us. We'll talk about the company's latest quarter, the impact of inflation, and a lot more. Stock is moving lower today, and not a great tape. Dow's down 215. Stay with us.
Crypto Watch is sponsored by Crypto.com. Crypto.com is America's premier crypto platform.
Thank you. America's premier platform. He's from Chicago. That's what I thought he was, from Chicago. And then they were like, Atlanta. But either way, man, I've always liked his videos. All right, I need one more. I gotta do one more set, bro. One more set. All right, but you at least stop dying. It is Euro close now, so we will see.
With the rest of the AI and infrastructure team, really appreciate it. Thank you very much. We're going to stick with Microsoft, which reports earnings tomorrow. Kash Rangan, Global Investment Research Managing Director at Goldman Sachs, joins us. He covers the software sector, has a buy rating and a $550 price target for Microsoft. TV time. Cash, but you heard the reporting there. When you are covering Microsoft, one assumes you have to model in this relationship with OpenAI, both the financial exposure, but the technology exposure as well. What did you hear then, and what do you make of it?
So first of all, congratulations on breaking that news story. So that's incremental development, and we actually published our note later yesterday, and we didn't cover the detailed reporting that you guys did. So that certainly is a wrinkle, but it does not change the overall thesis. Our view has been that the partnership has more legs to it than commonly believed in the media and in the Wall Street community. There's a lot more to be gained on either side of the fence, be it access to technology from Microsoft's perspective or access to distribution and a world-class customer base that Microsoft brings. And the ability to, certainly not to overemphasize the very common thing, to train models and run on world-class infrastructure. So I think if this were to progress to its ultimate fruition, that if the deal were to be signed, it would take away a hurdle, at least in investors' perspective, as to what is the time duration that you can bank in your model, and what is the longevity of this partnership, because the AI revenues have come out of nowhere seemingly and have scaled and helped Microsoft's Azure business propel itself to a north of 30% growth rate, which we thought was unthinkable 2 years ago. So both parties have so much to gain from this, and I think it's incrementally.
Let me ask it this way. What has the biggest net benefit to Microsoft been from the relationship with OpenAI?
Many things. First of all, that they are tech forward, and you could argue that in the cloud computing cycle that they were not exactly the first ones out of the gate, but in this AI cycle, they're the first ones out of the gate. And there's so much of a cachet and boasting right that you have, especially with CEO Satya Nadella, who is a rank insider of the company, who's been there for a long time, being able to pivot the company at the right time. That's of enormous strategic importance, right? From a financial perspective, what it has allowed the company to do is, although it has required a lot of capital build out of a scale that the world has never seen so far in the technology world, and maybe in broader industry as well, it has allowed the Azure business to grow at scale. So depending upon whose numbers you look at, we're roughly close to an $80 billion run rate for the Azure business, and AI has helped keep that growth rate steadily in the 30+% range. And if we get an inflection point with respect to AI moving up from at Goldman Sachs, we have this thing that AI is stuck at the infrastructure layer. For every computing cycle, you need to move to the platform and applications layer. When you make that progression, you see monumental shifts that are happening in the market. So that's all to Microsoft's benefit.
The $80 billion run rate for Azure comes in tandem, Cash, with a more than $80 billion need to spend on capital expenditure. Is that currently totally vindicated in your mind's eye, and will we see it increase?
It's a dollar for dollar, right? So a dollar of CapEx gives you a dollar of Azure revenues, roughly give or take. And within that, there's a slightly more inefficient conversion of the dollar of CapEx into AI revenue and slightly more efficient conversion. So we think that it is the right trade-off at this point in time. And the good news of your Microsoft is that you're running a very diversified business.
Why is this guy's hairline so
all
luscious?
The CapEx is not extremely punitive to your free cash flows. I mean, you could run a model where you're not generating any free cash flow at all. That's not Microsoft's thing. So they do generate a pretty meaningful, significant free cash flow margin because of the health of the overall business. You've got to look at Microsoft not just in the context of Azure, but there is a broader Microsoft Cloud business, which has the M365, and then you have the server on-premises business, and a couple of other businesses that are equally significant in terms of revenue scope and significant drivers of profitability. So they've got the ability to generate the cash to be able to fund this CapEx. That's a very important consideration. So as long as the returns keep coming and you're able to generate $1 of revenue for every $1 of CapEx, as long as that algorithm, broadly speaking, holds, I think it's the right trade-off for the company.
There have been concerns, though, surrounding Microsoft, whether or not it's just how great the product is to use when you're sat within its ecosystem, but also the cyber issues that we've seen running front and center this month. Cash, how much do you expect Satya to really talk to those issues?
Yeah, I believe that there is a bit of a lag between the actual ChatGPT technology that is OpenAI, broadly speaking technology, and how much of that gets incorporated in the Microsoft Office Copilot. And I believe that that lag is likely to reduce over a period of time. And we're also implementing consumer-grade technology in the enterprise. I mean, that is a completely different beast. So I'm not surprised to hear what you've heard with respect to where the product is relative to enterprise expectations. And I would argue that the product is, I use it personally at Goldman, and it's come a long way since about 6 months, 9 months ago, and it's likely to go a long way in the future. That version of Copilot that we use today is going to go through significant enhancements. Right. The ability to customize it, tailor it to your workflows, all that's going to get significantly better. So the buzz is going to get better.
One thing I've always wanted to ask you, Cash, is present day, middle of 2025, Microsoft is the world's second most valuable company. Right, and if I think back to when I arrived in Silicon Valley in 2018, but even 2 years ago, did you see that coming, where Microsoft would vie with NVIDIA to be the most valuable company in the world based on the direction it was headed, pre-OpenAI and all of that?
So when I launched coverage at Goldman in 2021, we had a big price target on Microsoft, and the pushback that we got was, you're implying that the market cap can grow by another $500 billion to it's already a multi-trillion-dollar market. Or what was it? I think it was a couple of trillion. Yeah. And I think what it comes down to is if you unlock a big tech cycle, the dollars at stake in every tech cycle are larger and larger. And if you are leading this cycle as opposed to being a fast follower, who is to say what the new market? Nobody envisioned this kind of playing out the way it did. So, and we're still early in AI. So if you listen to the economists that talk about how the labor market could be incorporated,
but yeah, watch out for the bonds here now too.
If that were to
the
happen,
first big
you got a lot
difference
more
at
value
Euro
creation
close.
along the way. So I'm pleasantly surprised by how
South
quickly
Korea
it's
to bring
happened.
best
But,
trade offer to
I was
talks.
just remarking earlier that Microsoft stock has actually performed in line with the NASDAQ finally since the launch of ChatGPT. For a while, it was lagging. I kept telling myself, this is a company that facilitated the birth of this AI revolution along with NVIDIA and OpenAI, and their stock is lagging. It doesn't make any sense. Right now, finally, we're just about even. So feel vindication.
Cash Rangan, Managing Director of Global Investment Research at Goldman Sachs. Great to have you here on Bloomberg Tech. Thank you very much. Caro, some news.
Yeah, it's time for Talking Tech now. And first up, DoorDash has hired Spotify's global head of advertising. Lee Brown will join the food delivery company.
All right, now you are dumping a little harder. So you got China going up. I think the reason is just earnings. Again, we haven't really had a day like this where it's actually stayed down. So we'll see where we are by the end of the day. But I was saying, you know, from the mornings, even yesterday, we moved a little bit more off of the open. And now you're getting away from that, just like spend 7 hours to go somewhere. Again, we had a lot of info. So I think we got to find out where it ends, but there's no real reason as to why it's going down. Besides that, it's a little rotation, but then look, now equal weight's starting to dump. That's why I'm like, this little low right here is something's getting a little different, because now you got bonds dropping from here, and then now the equal weight is going down just as much as everything else. So watch, some of those names that rotated, they might get knocked off now. But you have the high-low ticker almost fully maxed out. That's crazy. UPS was just earning. I think that was your computer. Nothing really caused the drop. It's okay. You guys, it's good though. I like it. I think it's the first time people have seen a drop in a while. U.S., China, and the second day of trade talks in Stockholm. And then they have hyped up a Friday deal with India. Now we just heard the Lutnick in South Korea. But again, now that we have EU out of the way, all I care really about is China. Is healthcare bad? Transportation? No, transportation was good yesterday. Healthcare was bad, but then they all got a bid. But yeah, transport's did probably off of Uber. So it's weird because healthcare was bad, but then they all just went up, kind of like CNC. And then they were one of the worst. Transports was doing better, and then now it's not as good. So that's what kind of makes it a little bit more interesting. Boeing again. Okay, you did that bounce a little bit ago. Just get ready for the VWAP game. I don't think it'll happen now. It could, but just end of the day, before you know it, we're going to get over this, and then people are going to be setting up for the next set of earnings. Kering Gucci. Oh, not too bad. Down 25%. Estimate was 25.1, so they still did better, but yeah, so check Tapestry. And then any of the clothing ones like Lulu, Nike, Ralph Lauren. You know, we already had the LVMH one the other day. But damn, theirs was bad. Right, very interesting earnings. It was already very slow leading into it, and then you have the market in one-way mode. So, but that's what I'm saying. I don't, you know, we've been one certain way for a very long time, so I wouldn't force it. Oh, Google, and then Thermo Fisher, no Tapestry reaction. China delegation to have presser. Oh, no way. So yeah, they're on day 2. Google printing. I mean, Google was your lifesaver. That's it. It was NVIDIA. Then NVIDIA flipped, and then Google took it over. But see, if NVIDIA could go green, Google advances. You do need Microsoft and Apple, and then you have that other weird half. But see if we unrotate and see now if SPY outperforms equal weight. Now they're literally matched up right here. SPY just went down deeper, but then equal weight caught up with it. Yeah, any China headlines, follow-up will be interesting, so see. Google. Bro, Google's ripping. So not bad. Yeah, it's like an unrotate, literally. That's why, man. These days, it's funny because we go from like no movement all one way, and then the final day, finally when we like move, everyone freaks out. And then we get all this back and forth. But where it settles is key. Starmer committed to make an assessment ahead of UNGA on how far the steps are for final decision. Now she's talking to Israel Hamas. JLL, that was your biggest bounce on all of, I think all day that was your biggest bounce, sadly. So yeah, you just flushed pretty hard. You're back up a point and some change real quick. What is this? Just earnings, baby. You didn't miss much. It looks different. It looks bad because of, you know, the last 2 weeks of melt up mode to all-time highs. You had a bad day a couple Tuesdays ago, right? You know, and everybody freaks out. But other than that, you know, we got to get all of the results and data. Remember, you have Powell tomorrow, jobs on Friday, and all of the big names. ERJ, Embraer, China top negotiator, comprehensive in-depth exchanges for macroeconomics. Why is ERJ going up? So Embraer running, I mean, you just had Boeing earnings and their performance, but Embraer's one of the other makers. Pre-market themes, Embraer pilot train. Did they have earnings? Yeah. Yeah, the other day, their backlog. So they're post-earnings too. I don't know if they're linked to the China stuff. U.S.-China agreed to extend trade truce? Yeah, I'm getting that now. That's going to be bullish, but we kind of already knew about it yesterday. Remember I was telling you how we might have till September 30th? So yeah, they're saying U.S.-China agrees to trade truce. So I think that gives us another month. They'll push forward of extensions of pause as reciprocals. Yeah, you got good news right there. So we already knew it. I had this on the radar, but so I think now we're going to get September 30th. I don't know if this is going to give us follow through. So let's see. I'm kind of down though. I'm going to try it on a small one. But yeah, that's good. But now you're going to, so now, dude, August 1st doesn't even matter that much. Yeah, but you guys remember I was telling you that like September 30th? Because I said otherwise August 13th. But now it seems like as a result of that, we're probably going to get that delay. So now China, all that's going to matter Friday, India, South Korea, Canada, I still don't think it matters. But now the big dog, you just got another delay. Trump just bought you some time. Or somebody bought time, whoever you want to blame or give credit to. But either way, yeah, Stockholm Chinese trade delegation ends with press briefing. Press briefing and agreed to extend the truce. So no deal has been made or met, but they're willing to spend another month or so to negotiate. Howard! You could tell him one more. That's the last month. I can't. That's it. Did you show him? Show him the chart. Get the chart made. Show it to him. Show Xi. Show Xi. Say Xi Jinping. Come here. Come. Show him. Wow. Let's see if the crackheads. See if they buy. Let's see if they buy. Who knows? Oh, Baba jumped on that. Yeah. Oh, that might be the better play. You're right. I kind of like that. Yeah, what the fuck? Fuck the SPY. Taco dip. Taco. I still don't like that one though. Because, like, I just don't call people chickens in real life. That's the only, that part, it just doesn't, it fails to land with me. I don't have the same connection to taco. Because I'm just like, y'all do your thing. Y'all taco away. You taco away. Is that the one? Maybe I'm kind of down with a little bit more on there. Young spy. It's glorious. Alright. Oh, I don't have that many. Why would it make me do that? BA. Okay, China came down. Well, I'm moving over to that. Okay, I got rid of this SPY break even and I moved it to China instead. But Baba's on the low, but I still like the China stuff. That's why I liked it when you said that. But either way, the market didn't react too crazy. We did kind of know this, but now you do get your timelines prepared. But yeah, pretty much until middle of September now, or end of September for China. Now middle of September date is Powell in SEP. That AIP one, those won't get a value though. I hate it. And then the SPY plays are a little bit higher. I just sold out at break even, but they are actually still up. But yeah, I wanted to see if the market would react because I think it's old, but the news sounds good. But then, like I'm saying, ultimately though, I'm more comfortable with China. China. Wow, JD and Baba, they're not comfortable. They didn't like that. They didn't like that. The SPY did with those contracts, I'm telling you. These market makers. These market makers. Recon. Is that a drone play? Sounds like, yeah, Recon, whatever this is, 30% on one candle. That's moving now. And then SRPT, I think silver, and then fucking Google, man. If Nvidia goes green, there you go. We're now, like, definitely settling Euro. It got ugly ahead of Euro, ugly after Euro. And then, yeah, now we're going to, I think you're going to burn a couple of hours, and then pretty much by the time we're wrapping up Philo, everyone's going to start getting ready for earnings. Mayor Adams on Manhattan office tower. Oh, suspect was not. I thought there was another shoot. I was like, what the fuck? Oh my goodness. Core weave again too. We just need to come together. That's what we're going to do, honestly. It's going to be weird. But the first meetup, we're all going to come together, you guys, and we just need to sing Kumbaya. Okay? Kumbaya, my lord. Kumbaya. Yeah, we just need love, bro. This is what I was trying to tell y'all a couple months ago. You know, fuck the healthcare system. I didn't feel bad that when that dude died. I can't lie to you. I wasn't, oh my gosh. I felt bad for his kids. I feel bad for his family. He's a real human, but considering what some of these people have done, like you don't have to feel bad. I'm fine with that. But, you know, to support murder is not okay. And that's why I'm saying the way this all played out, bro. And then you're seeing another one and people and executives. And you know damn well an executive gets shot, people cheer it. And that's weird. Because not that you don't feel, you know, how you feel towards the person and whether you agree or not, that's your personal choice. But yeah, murder is murder. So, you know, and that's why it's just that's not rooted in love. And I think that, you know, the more you look at that and the more, you know, you do that, it's just, yeah, we need more love, baby. It's just all love, baby. All love. I'm excited too, bro. That's it. We gonna be hippies, bro. That's just it. I look forward to it. You know what I wanted to do though? I was thinking of can we do one of those dances? Like what is it called? The hoka? Or is that a shoe? But then I'm like, I don't know if that's cultural appropriation. If they'll get mad. But if we had like a choreographed, like aggressive Chad dance, I'd be down. I just think it'd be a funny video. And it'd be kind of scary. They're like, wow, they are a haka. There it is, not hoka. Yeah, but that'd be intense. Be pretty cool. I called it a hoka. Can we do the shoe dance? The dance of the shoe? Giving me the shoe dance. Yeah, NVO is 49 pre-market. So the fact it's not doing like MDT or any of the other ones, it's not catching the bid. So that's bad. But see as far if it hits pre-market low or not, that'll kind of be one of its points. That's how we even played it too. Oh, whoa, Estee Lauder. Yo, I already had this up. I saw one flush. I think it just lagged. But Estee Lauder with a knife. L'Oreal, second quarter sales, 2.4. Estimate was 2.6. So you have another foreign earnings of a very closely related company, and they did a little worse than expected. So that's why EL's taking the candle. Yeah, L'Oreal, 10.74 billion in sales, 2.4 versus consensus of 2.9. I think they fucked up on everything. U.S. trade deal not good for European cosmetics. Well, there you go. Europeans, the American companies are all like hyping it up, but the European ones are saying the opposite. SGI on the low, Zillow on the low, and then Google's still high. SPY hasn't given this up and came back down yet, so that's good. And then we have the China delay news as well. And then we have 1 hour till Philo. Ohana Man's family. BMA. Oh, Google, what is that? And then Core Weave still, but Google's like really running. Oh, I know we had those other like cheapies, but those didn't hit. Yeah, those are still down. They're $10, $7. They were $10 to start. MindMed Psychiatric Board is endorsing psilocybin, aka shrooms. I think the U.S. Psychiatric Board. That's why. Yeah, Sarepta did give an update today. They got Elevis or whatever, got approval for ambulances. So it was a good update. That's why it's at 18. XGN, that one sounds familiar. And I just watched Google. I like Microsoft too. Microsoft is still green. That's your only other support. And then Apple just didn't want to go. But if Apple lifts up right now, and then even Microsoft, you're good. done them a couple of times, but what Josh says makes you want to never do them again. What do you mean what I said? Your homeboy in the Chad went to fucking jail. I'm not. Y'all want to think I did it too. I did it several times when I was your age. Thank God the Lord let my mind free. You know that? So, but it's your guys' life. So do whatever you want to do. But at the end of the day, your mind is the most powerful thing you have. And my goodness, tap into that in a healthy manner. You'll be good. But if you would like to believe the world, I mean, you could run their track record. And then maybe now's a good time, because I have banned several of you today. I just have not made an effort to tell you. Just stop posting your plays, even if it's in the long term. We are not trying to, I don't want people to get influenced. So although I'm glad you guys are adding to your long term, I don't want you to influence each other. I want people to go off of objective info, make their own decisions, and if you want influence from other traders, there's 99 other places you could go. 1 million other places. For all of the drama and dog shit you desire, you could get it anywhere else. So that's what, I don't know why we got to keep playing this game, but unfortunately, I want info. I will hold the monopoly at plays. I don't think I'll lead you wrong. And don't post your plays. You could post info and other stuff. We could have discussions, but we got to minimize the influence. I have not been to jail, no. But we have had Chads have some terrible stories, especially with mushrooms. So I had a call. We did it. And I'm glad, and I love the guy. I really do. You have no idea. Shout out to Boomer, bro. I love this guy. And I watched this guy join the Chad. I watched him grow up in the Chad, bro. I saw him go from, I don't think you realize, bro. Boomer lived in Escondido. We met him. You know what I'm saying? We got dropped off merch to him, put him on. He got into real estate, started doing mortgages. I saw him go from I don't know what to do in my life to homeboy was on a fucking 6-figure career within a couple of years, legitimately. Closing deals, on the phone, in the Chad, got a long term, making real estate money. Everything was going perfect. I'm telling you, I was very proud of him. I love the dude. I fucking love him. He was a moderator, for crying out loud. And I don't know what it was one day. Like I said, bro, I think the danger is that I could give you guys a lot of stuff, but the moment you start mixing my shit with all the other shit, you're on your own, bro. Good luck. Because I don't know where you guys get the shrooms and all the things of the world telling you, and you know how I am. But I don't know what it was that day. And he told us, he had his talk. He got to explain it. I had him live. But it's just like, dude, life was good. And you had good things in life. And then one day he did drugs, a.k.a. mushrooms. And then he went on a trip, stabbed his girlfriend, almost killed her, and then stabbed himself and ended up in the hospital with the love of his life from middle school, deathly injured, as well as him in prison. Good kid, bro. You have no idea. I love the kid. That's what I'm saying. You know how much that hurts to see, to him do that to his life, let alone other people and everything. All for what? You know what I'm saying? The trip, and I get it. Some people may use drugs for other things, and I've heard a lot of things on mushrooms. That's not what this talk is about. And you do your thing. But like I said, man, and that's the story that's close to you guys. That's not even my worst story. So that's just one. You knew the guy. You guys knew him. He grew up in the Chad with you. And he's still here, and he got out. He's on probation now. It set him back a little bit, and it changed his life, both for the negative, but he's a good guy. I really believe that. And that's what I'm saying, bro. I love you. I'll forgive all of y'all. I would hate to see it happen to you. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you guys to be bad. I don't rejoice if bad things happen. You don't listen to me and something goes wrong, bro. I'm gonna probably cry with you. I'm not gonna be there to gloat over it, even with a house. That's why I don't want you buying expensive houses. I don't want you guys getting clapped. So, but the fact of the matter is, though, the consequence, the reality, if it goes wrong, it's gonna set you back, and it may rob you of your freedom and other things in life that we take for granted. So that's all you got to think about. Not what I say These are just this reality that people don't talk about as much. And you know, I didn't talk about it until he talked about it, because it's not my story to tell. And that's why. And everybody loves to pump and say the good things, good things, good things. Oh, this is what I did. Oh, this is, but then when bad shit happens, they sweep it under the rug. But yeah, do your thing, baby. Do your thing. He will bounce back. He's already doing good. And that's why I'm proud. I wish he never did it, but that's life. So, and at the end of it, I'm glad though. And he's lucky that, you know, he has people who have forgiven him. He has people around him, bro. And thank God there was things that wasn't irreversible, and there was things that were. So, you know, just, you may not even be that lucky, but it's just like, man, why play with it? So just know what you want and know what you're doing, and take your life and everything serious. And, you know, we've gone through a lot of stuff. We all feel the things that drive us to these outlets. House probes Spotify over censorship? Oh, shut up. No way. Spotify was like the only one that didn't cave to like the Joe Rogan. It's crazy. You might get married soon? Can we do it at the farm? I would love that. So, I don't know how soon we're talking, but we just gotta go through a couple of these events so we can work out all of the, you know, problems and see what's going on. But I would more than be willing to do that. And congrats, yeah, bro, that's hype. All right, low ticker is picking up again. The SPY's still holding, and then Google, Apple gave up the little. If Apple moves, that's gonna lift you up. That's what I'm talking about. End of the day, Apple goes back to open, you'll get back to VWAP. Yeah, and Tesla's even coming. Tesla's about to go. Oh, no, that's Microsoft. No, Tesla's already negative. And then Merck on the high. Yeah, TLT going back, but it's like both good and bad, because TLT, obviously, I think TLT getting a bid gives you like runway for the rest of the rally, as we talked about. But then today, as TLT was getting a bid, market sold off. But then it took the real big sell-off with the bond sell-off. So still earnings. I don't think we could put our finger on it yet. Does he call on us to love? Save it for Philo, and then we'll get into it. UK Foreign Secretary, our history means Britain bears a special burden to support the two-state solution. I don't know what recon was. It sounded like a drone name. I caught the 30% pop. I didn't make a play on it, but we saw it, and then, yeah, it just went up another 50. No idea what it was. FOMC might be a dud. I don't think it's going to have anything. Unless Powell wants the signal. If Powell wants the signal, yeah, hell yeah. But I doubt it, especially with everything going on. But it really September. Because like I said, this is the inter-Fed meeting between now and the SCP. And then if the data or jobs and nothing changes, so we're going to get Powell, and then we're going to get the jobs. So he probably knows it already, but if that's not changing too much, then yeah, it's probably, you know, it'll be an event. We'll all be here. We'll all watch, but I'm not really expecting it to do much. Toyota expected to make an electric SUV in a Czech subsidiary. It engages oil field. Oh, no way. It's automation, production, and safety, security. China top negotiator will continue to push for tariff pause extension, but no agreement yet. Without a deal, U.S. tariffs on China will surge back to 145% on August 12th. So that's what. So some people are saying that little headline ain't legit, or it's like legit, but it's not ratified or confirmed. But yeah, so if they don't have this extension, then August 12th, August 13th, that is the date that I've been telling you. So that checks. If he has I don't know, he'd have to be really hawkish. So hawkish tone, anything in the realm of what we've experienced, you know, and like he's like, oh, inflation might go up, tariff uncertainty, you know what I'm saying? Anything that we've experienced already, I don't think it'll move much. But if he like shifts, he's like, we're not cutting at all. I don't know how much hawkish. It would have to be extremely hawkish, like 2 standard, 3 standard deviation hawkish to cause any movement with rate cuts or the rate cut odds. And then, like I'm saying, though, I'm not expecting it. And even if we get something, I don't see it as being that meaningful because the real guidance is going to come out in a month and a half with the SEP. TLT doesn't tell us anything yet, but it does kind of give you a little bit more ammo for rallying. That's what we were talking about on the watch list yesterday. Hope to meet me one day. Oh, bro, you might. You might, baby. That's it. That's why I hope this compound will open those doors for us, man. So I look forward to it. And thank you for your donation, let alone all of these years of support, my brother. God bless the Chad. I will see you soon. Isn't that a trip? Hold on. I think it's a trip. I think it's a really, really big trip. Rich rebuilds. He tested out a Zeker. Oh, I'd like to see that. I don't know. I've been kind of like, listen, I hate him, okay? Not Rich. I like Rich, but I hate all of these China autos. I'm never gonna, like, why the fuck would I buy a Chinese car, dude? What's wrong with y'all? But I'm not gonna lie. I'm fascinated by the auto reviews. I like looking at them. I'm very fascinated about how they're developing. I can't lie. I watch them. I'm into it. I would never buy one, and I don't think it's like, I think it's a really, if you don't know the topic of like autos in China and Chinese automobiles in the United States, it's really like, it's very weird. But like I'm saying, these cars, bro, they're very fascinating because I would love to see their reliability, and I'm seeing the tech they're putting into it. But yeah, bro, it blows my mind. Yeah, it's very quick how they're advancing. I never thought I'd see it. Cyber. Oh, that has to be a buyout. Cyber. CYBR. Oh, 10%. They're going to halt it. Please don't halt it. They halted it. Fuck! Palo Alto to buy Cyber. Halted. Damn it! Oh, see if Palo Alto drops. Sentinel 1 dropping. You guys remember people put out that, what's it called last time? Remember people thought Sentinel 1 with like Apple and all that? So yeah. Alright, I bought a cheapie on Palo Alto, not a Reco. Fuck! I had the other one! They halted it! I fucking did the one at the money, too. I was quick, and they were quicker. Fuck. Yeah, Cyber buyout. That's confirmed. Wall Street Journal. I got the source. Instantly. Yeah, Palo Alto buying or offering for their... Damn, bro. Yes. Remember Sentinel 1 the other week and people were hyping that one up with like Apple and all of that? So now you got that. But yeah, I just grabbed a little cheap one. They haven't hit yet. They're up on the ass. Let's see if I can flip them. But damn, I had this Cyber, bro. I thought I was quick too. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was quick. Oh. Yeah, well, let's see though. That's a big deal, man. 20 billion is not small. Okta getting a pop, that actually makes sense. Somebody's gonna benefit, like the sympathies, and then Sentinel's gonna get clapped because everybody was buying that on hope. Cyber would have been fire, but I can't believe I didn't get it. That's crazy. Usually I was fast enough. I'm telling you, bro. Wait, it's not even halted. What? Oh, what? Oh, then they just scammed me, bro. Yeah, it's not even halted. I put in the order at the fucking ask. I think I even did a market. Oh, those little scammers. Yeah, I canceled it. I can't believe I didn't fill. That's disgusting. Yeah, they 1080'd all of them. We might be able to find one, though. I'm gonna check the other one. The Palo Altos, they're up, but they haven't hit yet. I kept it small. Those ones aren't as good. The buyer, if you could get the one who's getting bought early enough, that's money. Yeah, there's nothing on Cyber. You can't do it. There was only one. I can't believe they didn't give me that shit. Crazy. Yeah, they're all 10'd out. It's at 21 billion now. Oh, really? Then be careful. Yeah, be very careful. Because like I'm telling, wait, because this is what I was trying to show you the other day when I flipped one of these. Wait till the contracts, one of those contracts is going to get really cheap. All of them are going to be 10, and then one of them is going to be like $1. That's going to be pretty much the computer telling you where the max is. It's not always correct, but lately I've noticed some very, very pinpoint accuracy to it. But then the times it's not correct, you're going to make a fuck ton of money. Yeah, Okta will benefit off sympathy. Cyber's going, bro. And then I'm waiting for the polys to hit, but yeah, I only got a couple. That was fascinating. That's nuts. You could buy this. It's up 15% already. That's if you want to gamble on it, but I think we had a little... You might be able to hit the Palo Altos, but you got to go near the money. Now the monies haven't hit yet. And then, yeah, that Cyber early, when I first got the headline, that would have maybe was shared, but it was already up a lot. Or wait, too. Wait till everybody starts reporting this shit, and then it'll come down. Wait till the first, it'll pull back to 420 eventually. And then you'll be able to play that game again, if you want. Okay, there's Polly out there. Oh, shit, at least you heard it here first, Chattadonia. My goodness. That was quick, but I should have had it. That one. They hold me. But I'm going to go to the bathroom. Follow me on Instagram at the Trading Fraternity. Real Cult News on Twitter. And then y'all know God is good. And listen, even if you disagree, you're still a child of the light and you're blessed. And I want you to believe in yourself. Okay? Because you are here on this planet right now in a very critical time, brother. So God bless America. I will be RB, baby. And I know it never halted. I was just shocked it didn't fill. Because I'm telling you, I think I was $1 above the
systematic short covering in being in the late innings.
Those little scammers.
Are we on the cusp of a rollover here that we need to pay attention to?
You know, it depends on what your portfolio looks like, whether or not you have to pay attention to it. I think most people watching the show, even if they're professionals, but I would say most retail people over the last couple of months have probably taken a few flyers. They've probably added some lower quality stuff to their portfolio. And I hate to say this out loud, but we all know it's true, mostly for the recreational aspect of it. We got into a moment over the last couple of weeks where guys were doing Bitcoin treasuries with publicly traded shell companies that literally had tiny floats, and you could just say, hey, look, we're going to buy ETH, we're going to buy Bitcoin, we're going to buy this, we're going to buy that. And instant reward, because people just get so excited at the possibility of 10xing or 100xing an investment. And I wouldn't say that that's a death knell for the overall stock market, but it's definitely one of the things that you want to watch for. And we got into that moment. And that's just one example of a lot of things that we've seen. We're now seeing people talking about meme stocks as a deliberate investment strategy again. It's been a while, professionals too. And even if you just look at high beta within large cap stocks, away from the freak show in the micro caps, SPHB, which is at the S&P high beta factor ETF, is up 18% year to date. The year to date return for MSCI US high quality is only up 5%. So we know pressing high beta has been successful. The thing is about any momentum trade, whether it's commodities or stocks or anything really, is that when it ends, it really ends. And this looks like one of those moments where the people who took flyers on a lot of low quality stuff that they didn't really care that much about, they're probably saying to themselves, all right, that was fun. This game looks like it's over. And that's when those things start to roll, and they can roll really hard, depending on how low quality you've gone. So I think for the most part, most people aren't putting serious money into that part of the market. Or
CyberArk deal could be finalized as soon as later this week.
So I wouldn't worry too much about it from a macro level. But yeah, if you've been someone who's been having a little bit too much fun, checking your app a little bit too often, today is not your favorite day.
I just want to mention, we show shares of Palo Alto, please, because we do have some movement within the cybersecurity space. There's a story moving right now from Bloomberg, I believe, is reporting that Palo Alto Networks is nearing a $20 billion deal for the cybersecurity firm CyberArk. It would be the latest move in consolidation within what has been one of the red-hot sectors of this market. Palo Alto shares, as you would usually, I think, expect, the suitor is the one who usually sees their stock decline on word of a potential deal. Josh, I'll come back to you real quick, and then we'll work it to Joe and to Steph. So be brief if you could.
Be brief,
this
get it
just
long-term,
shows
save 10%.
you where the
Oh,
action.
you're talking to other Josh. My bad. I'll tell. Anyways, yeah, USO, we haven't heard about Russia yet, but we'll find out. Bob, so honestly, the SPY or the China play wouldn't have worked, but I got time for a reason. Boeing, did it go up? Oh, a little bit. Dude, I can't believe those little moves today. But hey, today was exciting. We got a little bit more. We got a little bit more. Josh, meet Josh. Nice to meet you, Josh. Hello, Midwest. Good morning, afternoon. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know which days people like more. Because when it's boring and we don't do nothing, people complain. And then when it fucking moves and then it doesn't move for any reason, they still complain. So either way, you just, I think, follow the bond yields, follow the calendar, you're going to be fine. But again, this is earnings. We forget this every time. This is earnings, bro. This is the first day. You're going through all of it. So yeah, just vibe with it, bro. Vibe with it. Indo now, even the small cap oil names are popping with it. How's oil at 70? No, that's weird. Those are moving without like oil being crazy. And then J&J all day. You even had Procter & Gamble and some of that other stuff. So let's say. CB Insurance. We saw one of those reinsurers get clapped the other day. That was yesterday or earlier today. MRK still up. Habivi's doing good there. PTHL. Whoa, big drop. $5 drop, I think. Or 3? 4? It's not low. Yeah, there you go. 10%. Photon Holdings. Photon. But yeah, that looks like a small cap or like a liquid. Pause due to volatility. 12 healthcare stocks. Yeah, it just looks like a pump play. Yes, and SPY getting a candle. All right, guys, and then we have push-ups in 3 minutes if you would like to stand up. Bop, 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 stand up. When I long term, you long term. Just like that. Greer discussing details on tariff pause with China. So that's what we need. That's going to be the headline. It sounded like they got the extension earlier, but they're saying no. But whenever we hear that, that will be your little catalyst. Because like I'm saying, if they sign that, then that August 13th doesn't matter. But if they don't, August 13th becomes like tariff implementation above 140. Confirmation verification of the London framework. We'll see Trump on China tariff pause tomorrow. Yeah, they're gonna wait. But they've both been moving. That's why I like what that guy said yesterday on CNBC. He was talking about it during one of the bathroom breaks, and he was saying how, like, they're just trying to get something to announce. And they're all, like, making movements. That's why he's like, they just want a good package to announce. That's why the EU deal, I don't want to say it too loud, but that deal yesterday, whew! So I think they're just trying, because China's moving the lithium, they're moving the coal, they're doing the chip stuff. Like, they're making progress, but I think they're trying to get a deal that could be marketable for both, and then still, you know, stay within the confines of everything else we've been doing. In terms of you have to honor this deadline, this date, all of that. STX on the low. Yeah, STX just took $1. It's not loading yet. My shit's so slow today. And then SPY, it's holding from that little Google rip or whatever we had, but still near one of the lows. And then everything red. Russell's a lot worse now. I haven't seen the equal weight yet. Ah! Equal weight down 1/4. French, a lot of people like, dude, I'm telling you, I can't believe that deal went through. The EU deal was like, that's why I'm like, maybe it is, maybe once again the euro doesn't break out. It was looking like it was going to, but yeah, that deal was very beneficial to the United States. Besant on Trade Talk, still some technical details to work out. So there's some Besant. Could be good. Oh, wait, they have a press conference on it? There's a press oh, yeah. So this is the one with China and all of that. They started it an hour ago, but no one's came out here. But yeah, I think that's where these statements are coming from. And then they're going to do another interview here. Trump will have final say on whether August 12th deadline is extended. All right, well, that's good. Because do you guys see how we're honing in on the catalyst? I hope you are realizing. Because I kept saying August 12th the last couple days, but I do want you to understand it. There you go. Because now, again, if there's no extension, anything like that, August 12th comes in, then yeah, you're going to have a very big tariff. That will be the only deal that doesn't get situated. Like, I don't know what they somehow they just fuck it up every time for, I think, more than 2 decades. Just every time it gets to that breakout zone, it fails, or it'll break it a little bit and then start plummeting again. You know, every time they're waiting, they call it waiting to strike, and then they're waiting, and then they're waiting, then they're waiting. It kind of actually could tie into philo, but I'll let you guys wait on that. Yeah, they should figure it out over the weekend as usual. Mm-hmm. Oh, it could be the buybacks on Google. You're right. Maybe. Honestly, that would make sense. And I agree or we discuss sectoral tariffs. Yeah. I don't know where they're talking, but then I wonder how this is going to sound to whatever we're going to get next. So like I was saying, we got a feed. There is a press conference scheduled for this. And then, yeah, we'll see. Trump departs Scotland. There's a new Avatar coming out. Did you guys know that? I still want the Avatar basketball movie. I still don't know why they haven't made that. 90-day extension is one option for Trump to approve. Oh, shit. Woo! So, you guys know I was telling you 30 days? Remember, I was like, okay, maybe it'll get pushed to September. So, apparently 90 days is on the table. That would be even more bullish. So, we'll find out. Fentanyl area could have been more robust. This camera, bro, just going back and forth. H-kit. Besant, we could have been way more robust on fentanyl. TikTok, I don't think it is as I thought it was at one point. I thought all Trump wanted was TikTok. I just think it's a good negotiating tool though, because now with how high the rates are and all these other deals, that's why I'm thinking that. Because if he hypothetically, if he could pull off what he just did with EU for China, oh yeah, I think that's worth way more than TikTok. AMH, MSTR now on the low again. Bitcoin has been coming down. All the big tech too, they've been chilling, but now that little rally from like just 30 minutes after Euro close is like fading again. If it goes lower and hits a low, you're not gonna like that, but we'll see. Besant, we want to see durable progress. We don't want to talk about magnets, we just want them to flow to us. Oh, Meta, a new low. The magnets. ALK and UAL Airlines dumping. We're up 22 before NVO. How much did you have in NVO? So that's good, but one place shouldn't knock your gains out for the year. I hope not. But either way, I still like NVO. We just gotta wait. I want to see the rest of the draft class. S-bit, that's the inverse. I was like, how? We're slowly edging down. Oh, it's not E. Okay, good. I was gonna say that, because if one does do that, you gotta that means you're heavily weighted in one area. But I still, again, the NVO one, we're waiting. I want it. I'm glad if you didn't buy it if you didn't buy it high, this drop sucks, but you're down like what, 5% from our last purchase, 6%. So, but yeah, depending on what other names hit new prices, we could decide what to do. I think it relates to Euro too. I mean, I don't think that's a coincidence that literally yesterday's watch list we're talking about maybe the death blow of the Euro and with the trade deal, and then you get a headline like that on a Euro dominant company. Again, it's Denmark, but that pretty much is the same shit. When you overbought, you buy other things. So if you have a heavy weighting in like one stock, that's what we did. That's why like a lot of people think Snapchat is, I'm all about it, because in the beginning, that's what we stacked up on in the early days, and then it ran. And then we had way more Snapchat than anything. So I stopped buying Snapchat for 5 years. So anytime you notice you got one name that either grew large or you put a lot into it and it's outweighing your portfolio, then you start buying other names to balance it out. So then with enough time, it'll literally balance itself out. AEE on the high. And Albemarle, man, I hope you listened to that take profit one. That was banger. Constellation on the low. That's and then Microsoft, no. Microsoft could have saved you, big dog. Now Microsoft's red. So now you got another big tech red. All you have is Google helping you. You already have Amazon, Apple, all of them. So yeah. And then Adabe. That's been one of those tech value runners. It's been going up all day. We're not pleased with China buying Russian oil. No agreement on export controls. They expressed dissatisfaction of China buying 90% of Iranian oil. Okay, SPY's coming down. Sadly, it's Microsoft. I think that's adding to some of the pressure here. We're waiting for this press conference with your boy. Pizza. Dominion and DTE, and a couple of other energy names on the high too. Whirlpool looks great, but now the fucking dividend isn't the same. I wanted to go all in when the dividend was 9 at 70, but now it's a different one. I'd give it a little bit, to be honest. I was like, what the fuck is that noise? It's this. I hear you. I like some of the background noise. Just sounds squeaky. Why you keep squeaking, dog? What are all of these little like chalkboard drawings? That recon stock, bro. What the fuck was that? Still going. China does not acknowledge it has a manufacturing surplus that is impacting the rest of the world. Yeah, CNC is coming up. Good call. Again, I think Elevance and Cigna are the only ones moving. Yeah, sector diversity. We talked about that a lot when everybody was asking about Dollar General and Target and all of those things. So approach with caution. It's very easy to buy a lot of the same sector, and then if it goes bad, you'll feel it. So balance. Let the portfolio speak to ya. Caring CFO welcomes the clarification on tariffs. Googly. That one's it, bro. That's, and then Adabe. SPY stopped dropping after that, but see if we could break free or not. The guy did it on UNH earnings day as well. Coincidence? I'm telling you, you don't know the tinfoil? Thank God the kid had a background in the NFL and that they could misdirect it to the NFL. I would put a lot on it that this was a copycat of Mr. Luigi. And the fact that some people don't want to admit it, I think that highlights it even more. It's very, very sad. But what have we done to the youth? I don't give a fuck about the 33rd floor and the superstition. I'm like, this doesn't happen, you guys. It's not. It's a very. Then again, another executive. RCL all day. Yeah, bro, I don't think it's about the NFL. That's what I'm saying. Thank God this kid had a background where you could even confuse it. But, dude, again, one of Blackstone's highest ranking women killed in a shooting. Again, a young man confidently with the aura of that he is doing it with a good purpose goes into New York, into a corporate building, and kills an executive. That's normal? When was the last time you've ever witnessed anything like that? I know some people want to say it's different, but I just see dominoes falling. That's very weird. That's why, and thank God that there was an NFL building. You know why? So that you don't have all of these fucking crazy people promoting and, again, making a celebrity out of a murderer. That's funny. It was on the earnings day, too. Or give or take within the earnings week. You know what I'm saying? You guys made a kid famous. You got still doing stories off the worst thing, healthcare, and then Blackstone, the guys buying all the real estate, and not BlackRock. Blackstone, they fucked up in real estate. They're part of it. They're part of the real estate unaffordability. Again, they just bought all the DNA from 20. What are you guys saying? They're like, no, it's different than Luigi. Okay. Thank God they're just doing it so that you can't praise the guy. Thank God. Okta, wow, they're still up from the Palo Alto deal. Remember, they're just a sympathy. It is corporate blowback. That's what I'm saying. Thank God the guy was like a football player, and they had, because if you could obfuscate that from the reality, then amen, because it'll at least stop more copycats. Because now this guy just did what Luigi did, but now they're gonna say, oh, he was a pissed off NFL player. It doesn't have the same celebrity as Luigi. But guess what? How you report on this, and if there wasn't an NFL building, it would be very bad. Obfuscate. I know. I say it in my head perfectly. But when it comes out, it's... I don't know why. It sounds like someone just zipped down their zipper. But I don't know who's Mr. Squeaky McSqueak Squeak. But this is... I don't know. I kind of want to hear this. I hear the Grinch. I think Besson's in there. I hear Cindy Lou Who. He might be close. No. No talks about Trump G meeting. Sale, popper. Wow, this is something. It's 3.5, but from the bottom, that's already 5. Sale. Oh, I'm checking headlines. Sales, sharp rise in profits. They supply steel. Honestly, for a steel play, these guys are getting kind of worked. I think that they supplied to India, but it could be American. American. All right, Chad. You know what we should do? Do you know what we should be doing right now? I'm down. I think we go to Philo. I think we talk about the Lord. What do you say? So, if you guys want to talk about Jesus, you should come to the next video. If you don't, you should not come. That's as blunt as I could be about it, my friend. So, if you don't want it, you just wait and just don't go to the next video. Okay, some of you, if you would like to chat, you'll need a membership, but you can listen for free. And thank you to all my beautiful members. Gucci lowering head count. So yeah, if you want, I can't save your soul. Only Jesus can, dog. So, and if you feel like you need that, then maybe don't go to the next video and get down on your knees and pray to your Creator. Amen? Amen. So on that note, if you don't want the Jesus, then there you go. But click that link if you want to be there. Oh yeah, we got, and then Sale, that's a steel maker. That's up over 5. I think you got something, big dog. God bless you, bro. You better smile. You better realize your purpose. Don't believe the world. You see, the world creates mass shooters. The world does a lot of, the world sends you wrong. I say you are worth it, bro. All of you. Don't let them. You are powerful, my friend. Oh, so smile. Rejoice in what you have, in what you possess. For the world will tell you it's nothing, brother. But, oh, you have so much. Amen. Amen, bro. So I will see you there. God bless you, the veterans in America. And peace.